getting it right there, but.
All right. It is 5:30 and we will call this meeting to order. We've got a quorum present. If you'll join me for the prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day, Lord, and we thank you for us being able to gather here, Lord, to do the work of the citizens, Lord, and we pray that you would give us a clear mind and help us to make the best choices. Lord, thank you for your Son. In his name we pray. Amen. So join me in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, that will bring us to council announcements. Time for y'all to make any announcement that y'all feel like. Okay, seeing none, I'll close that section and move to public comments. This time, anyone will be allowed to speak on any matter other than personnel matters or matters under litigation for a length of time not to exceed 3 minutes. No council or board discussion or action may take place or until a matter has been put on the agenda. Okay, seeing none, we will close that and we will bring us to our regular agenda and budget workshop. I think before we start here, I think our CFO Doug is on the Zoom or Teams or whatever we're on here and would like to kind of give us a rundown of what we got here in front of us, the tax rate and all that stuff.
He was here. He may.
Oh, that's
So
it.
he needs to
Kicked him
allow.
out. Let him in. Doug.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
Good.
you missed all the stuff we
Of
were
course,
said
right?
about
I
you.
waited all that time and it just kind of,
All right. So we are to the point where we were gonna allow you to talk and kind of give us a rundown here of what we got, where we're at, tax rate information that you worked up for us.
And let him know
Yeah,
that I
so
gave
I
y'all
think-
his worksheet.
sorry, what was that?
She was just letting us know that she gave us your worksheet that you had put together for us.
Oh, yes, so, I took the preliminaries and I don't know if you got the certifieds in today or a lot of mine came in today. I know they're not due till Friday, but they shouldn't change too much, from the sheet. So what I did, took the numbers and put them all in the system to calculate the tax rate. I used a debt figure that was not affected by the increase in water rates. So this sheet that you have in front of you that says $1.24 tax rate, which is probably higher than you want to go, does not take into account any of the water and sewer rate increases or the EULA participation number back on the revenue side. So with that being said, I went ahead, pulled the numbers, and we calculated for every penny is $19,000. Okay, so I think it's kind of important as you ramp up your water revenue, if you think it's going to generate, $70,000 on water, maybe another $70,000 on sewer, and then, you get your EULA back. So that's $440,000 right there. I think if you take that number and divide it by 19,000, that's how many pennies you can kind of come down on your tax rate and still be right where you need to be. This also doesn't really take into consideration, I know we need some catch-up work for the payment for the PSI. I think hopefully it's just going to be the principal. So I didn't really take that into consideration in here, but it can be in consideration with that tax rate now that you know that the 1 penny is 19,000. So, obviously that's a lot on you guys to decide this year again. But I think it's kind of important to know, if we go down to $1, then we got to raise all the water rates and make sure EULA comes back on to make sure we cover that difference. If that does not happen, then you're going to have to probably raise the tax rate to compensate for that. So I know it's not the options you want to hear, but I think it's the options that are there. So, any questions? I'd be happy to. Questions or thoughts or comments? I can kind of jump around and see if.
Do I have any questions for Doug? Or I can ask a question and y'all can.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Doug, what part of the rate do we have that's INS and what part of the rate do we have that's M&O?
Yeah, good question. So I have, let me see here. So the M&O rate is only 40.407, so almost 41 cents. So the difference, on that sheet you got $1.24. So, what's that, 84 cents that it makes up? The debt rate?
Right.
Almost 84, 83 cents. So the debt rate is almost double the M&O rate.
Okay.
So in the M&O, I captured just as you would. I captured the extra 3.5% that you're allowed, the voter approval amount, without going to election or anything like that. So I captured that 3.5% in this tax rate as well. And that 3.5% generates you about an extra $37,000, not including any new revenue or like new homes being built or anything. Which I don't think there was much, but so the 3.5% is about 37,000.
Okay.
But most of the tax rate's the INS side.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions for Mr. Doug?
How many, and yeah, I'm sure it's probably in here, Doug. You calculate how many rooftops are frozen by seniors and how many are still, how many will feel the effect?
That's on. I know the dollar amounts on this stuff from the CAD.
Yeah, we have the appraised values of the tax ceiling, but I'd have to dig into and maybe that's a question we can answer when we get to certifies, because it'll have everything by breakdown.
Gotcha.
How many rooftops will actually be affected by this? I think we should probably write that one down and get you an answer come when the certified comes in. So.
Perfect.
I think there's about $57 million worth of appraised value that's frozen, or it's got some sort of exemption on it. I think the big sheet is line 20. That's where your tax ceilings are. And actually 3 lines down is your new property.
2 points.
So that was only about 2.7 million. So theoretically, you could take that 2.7 million, if you go to $1 to make it nice and easy to calculate, you could divide it by 100, times it by $1. So that's an extra $27,000 you're getting from new property on the ground.
Gotcha.
If the tax rate was $1. So that's kind of one way to just easily calculate that.
Thank you.
So 27,000 there, plus the extra 37,000 from the 3.5% increase. And then obviously whatever we want to do with the INS to make up those payments.
Any other questions for Doug? I think that's all the questions we have for you, Doug. Thank you for
Okay.
making.
Yeah, I will say I feel you're closer. I know it's going to be another difficult decision, but I feel it's going to get closer to being stable. Whatever way you decide to go here, water rates, tax increase, I think it's going to be a lot closer to which it needs to be to cover everything. So, but we got time to talk about it. So I'll be involved, and you got questions, Connie, Roger, they can reach out to me anytime. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for making yourself available on vacation, and I'm sure Connie and Roger, us will be reaching out if we need anything.
Thank you, Doug.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. All right, so with that, I guess we will start looking at our budget, and I guess we can start on this first page, and Roger, I'll let you kind of.
Well, you can kind of see there where we started and what we've done in case, I know Connie said a little bit about it, but so we have, last year's, we have the 2025, so everybody has everything that Connie and I was working on right there. So we worked straight off of this. We also worked off of, so this is your proposed, so this is what we're looking at. And it includes part of what Doug was talking about, also parts of what we've looked at as far as just the increases that we might can go up on. Council obviously gets to make, that decision in the end, so we will, these are just a starting point, guys. This is just something to start with. We've got plenty of time to do this, so we'll get this going. Looking at our, what it looks like, you can see all the way down here, and any of this part, any question you have on any of these, stop me and ask me that. So you can see that for the 2026, so last year what we had intended on bringing in, what we were hoping, $4,610,901. So there's a lot of things that as we were going through this budget, we found that didn't seem to have budgeted right, were a little bit strange, and we'll get to each one of those as we go through it. So with making the cuts that we need to on here, where we can make the cuts, with making the increases in certain departments that had to have those come back or have those installed in to begin with, you can see over here now on the 2026 that what we're believing we'll bring in now will be $5,448,975, and this is where it comes from our interest income, franchise tax, property taxes. Again, you can go all the way down there. So you can look over to the left if that's how you have yours set up. You can look over there. So go down that. If there's anything you have a question on as far as why we're thinking it's going to be higher or lower this year, then we'll go over that. We can go over it line by line, see what you want, where we believe at. I'll tell you, some of the things that are the big changes there are, and again, we have a list of where we're at to date on what has come in, what we've spent, what it is, and that's how some of these numbers don't seem like they were correct over here on 25. Because you may have one item that was budgeted very low or one item that was budgeted way too high, and that wasn't correct. So we've gone back and adjusted those to make it right. So I think one of the things you'll see to begin with there, the first thing that has a change is our property taxes. That $2 million right there that you're looking at, the increase in that from the $1,404,000 again.
Okay, so you're on the
Where?
next page.
Second.
He jumped to the next page.
That was my first one, right on top.
The first one was the cover sheet. And then,
Well,
Cover sheet.
I'm just right into the budget part. So,
forget the cover.
yeah. Now, if you want me, I gotta go back and find my cover sheet, cause I started right front.
No, we're good. We're on the second
Good.
page.
We're on the- yeah,
Let's
we're
go.
there.
Alright, sure. Okay. Alright, well, I apologize then for getting ahead. Got excited about this, man. It's been working. Okay, so then, looking there, look down at the third item, you see property taxes current. What we believe last year, 144, this year going up to 2, that shows if we go up on the property taxes that we have. That's what we're looking at. Doug is showing us on there the 124. That is where we can go, so obviously council has that option to look at that high. What we worked the numbers on was a 12-cent raise instead of a 36-cent raise. It was 12 cents going from 88, which was our adopted last year, to $1 even this year. So that's that 12-cent increase. And with that, that shows you the projected increase of $2 million there on the property taxes. So that's kind of where we're looking at on that. Delinquent taxes is the same thing as it was this year. You know, if we collect them, that's great. This is what if we could, that 17,500 that would add to it. You know, that's what we're hoping to collect on back taxes, delinquent taxes. So that didn't change on it. Sales tax, you can see that we went up. One of the things that we looked at was, you know, we had one of our bigger businesses that was actually out. You know, Travel Center was down for a few months for us. We actually didn't generate any sales tax off of that. So that's one thing that with this from about November of last year until February, March of this year, when they actually come back online and started doing a lot more business over there. And that's been picking up. So I think that'll generate a little bit more sales tax. We have other things that are, you know, that have come in and a couple that are looking at. So we won't start seeing that until probably the next budget year. But this one we'll start seeing right away. So again, the more people we bring in, and we know that there's a lot going on with the building and the construction around us, that again, we get to benefit a little bit of that off of the travel through and from and our stores and stuff. So we believe our sales tax will go up a little bit on that. The administrative fee, you can see there that went up. Our contracts, I've got, so 140 there, animal contracts. We went up a little bit on that, and that's what we have going out. We're picking up more. I think we're still working with Cross Plains on some things. Amber and Lynn are doing more. They're seeing more, unfortunately, seeing more animals out there running loose. So we're trying to stay on top of that. That's a little bit more. Code enforcement, we'll get to code enforcement when we get to that particular department, but that's one of the things that we're working on too. We've made some discussion and some changes into permits and miscellaneous. You see that we raised that quite a bit. We know, again, looking at what we've already had come in this year and what some of the changes that we've made on that, plus what we know, we're looking at what the houses are still looking like it's a strong market on there. So we believe that revenue will generate, that will be higher. That's another thing on the permits and fees that we're looking at. Animal registration, we actually went down on that. We're not having the people coming in. I think, again, you see that's why we have more of them running around. People are not taking that responsibility seriously on that. So we're not seeing that's going to generate any further revenue. We're still working on that.
Roger,
yes, go ahead.
not to interrupt you, but
No, go ahead, anytime.
143.
750,000.
Yeah, something's on.
Talk to us
Oh,
about
administrative
that.
fee.
I don't see that on the 25 fiscal year.
It was coded 140 on this.
Coded
Yeah, he had the wrong number on y'all's.
Okay, but to jump from 50 to 750,
That's a big jump.
That is the money that enterprise allocates to general for operating expenses.
This is the wrong number over here. This is 40.
Every year, I'm sorry,
And 25 was the wrong number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've never done $50,000 ever. The enterprise fund, because the general fund basically is every department except for water, sewer, and sanitation. It is streets, it's parks, it's animal control, it's court, it's police, it's city hall, it's everything. So every year, the enterprise fund, it funds the general fund to help offset payroll, people that actually, like the girls up here that actually, 90% of their stuff is water and sewer that they're dealing with up here, but they fall under administration. So it's things like that.
And that's one of those numbers I was telling you about at the beginning, and I'm sorry I missed over that one, is, that's one of those that, I don't understand how that number was there from last year. Again, there's several of those that we found that is just not possible for that to have been the right number, so. Did Connie get that for y'all? Y'all good? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we're at,
So we talked about animal registration.
yeah, so we're at control, we're at the adoption, that stayed the same, we haven't made any changes. Our building reimbursement, we had gone down on that is, where were we at?
Part of that
We had-
was the library, when
Yeah.
we leased that part to the insurance people, that they moved out 2 or 3 years ago, that never got adjusted in our budget.
Okay.
Because they were reimbursing us for using our building over there, and when they moved out, the library took that part over, so that, we're not getting reimbursed for that building anymore.
So once we found that part, it was just remove that section of it.
We lowered it, but it's still in there, so what,
What's
Well-
driving that 1,800?
yeah,
The bank pays us $150 a month for a vault at our library, and that's what we included in that.
okay. They still do that.
I'm assuming, I haven't heard any different, so that's where that 1875 comes from. Or whatever I put in there.
1875. Okay.
The fishing and boating permits, we're not seeing
Yeah.
that kind of money, that kind of revenue out there at the lake on fishing and boating. That,
Well, we had the lake closed for boating for a number of months.
so.
'cause it
What are
got
the
so
fees for the fishing and boating, and permits, fishing and boating permits?
Well, I'll pull them up out of the ordinance, David, I don't have them.
But that's also camping and
That's
Yeah,
everything.
it's everything out there at the lake, yeah.
Yeah,
cabins and all that stuff.
that's
Well,
it,
we
that's
also
into the
know-
lake, getting into the lake, the $2 or what, yeah.
$2, yeah. Okay.
And one of the other things that we're gonna have to do, that council will have to do is, kind of what we discussed a little bit, is make the changes on that gate code. We're losing a lot on that from,
Oh, absolutely.
so that's one of the things that we'll be adopting, is changing that. In-code fines, the same spot on that. In-code is everything that we do on this, our fines for,
Tickets.
yeah, for what we have that come in that we do collect. We'll see in a minute when we get to municipal court that we have a lot that isn't collected, but we also have this year that we have collected a little bit more. But these are the fines that we wrote. We think that with our other officers coming on like this, that should go up, but there's no way to judge that. We're down 3 officers, so, it's that part's a little low, so. So we didn't change that. The sports complex is the big thing. Obviously, you can see there that, last year they got budgeted at $1 million. We didn't come anywhere close to $1 million. The idea of $1 million budgeting that on, not even being open 2 years yet was, hard to see that we let that get by, that we let that in there, that we left that in there when this got proposed to us. course, it got proposed as a little different. We didn't have this workshop. We didn't have this opportunity to talk about these and change these things. We're right now, almost 320,000 on the year that the sports complex has generated. So with that 320, with knowing that we're booked out from second weekend of August, and to that, something that was brought up, I actually did talk to them today. They will be putting those tournaments up on the website, so they're adjusting our website. So that'll help show you that they're. But anyway, between being booked from second weekend of August all the way through December 14th, with the exception of Thanksgiving weekend. So between the 320 we're at now, it's 318 and something. So the close to 320 that we're at now, and having made the changes with both Kemper Sports and High Level Promotions, who I was on the phone with right before we walked in here with some good news about this. We're already seeing an influx of what that will be. So 400,000, I believe, is something that is very much likely that we'll reach, if not exceed. So
Does that include the sponsorship money, Roger?
yes,
Okay.
yep, and that's what that call was a while ago.
Yeah.
And it's booked every weekend between
August, yeah,
and
mid-August through December 14th. So all of November, half of December, and half of August, with them still working. They're still working. And, and it's, again, when Kemper came in and explained all that to us, again, we knew that going into the sports complex was a 3 to 5 year deal before we start seeing that ROI. We knew that. We did not know we were going to get into as tight a situation as we did. We didn't know that. We took on a lot that we shouldn't have done all at one time, but we did. So right now we're working our way out of that. With that in mind, the sports complex is something that's going to help that, and what's coming in around the sports complex is going to help that. So it's only been 21 months. Not the 3 years that we knew it was going to take. So I would couch anybody from getting too scared of that place just yet. So anything else on that on complex? I know that's a big item. I know everybody's very interested in that. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
any other
We'll get
questions
into it deeper further back, I'm sure,
on what?
on the expenditure side.
Okay, the animal control pickup fees, we dropped again. We're just not, we're getting the fines out there. We are dealing with the people on that, but we're not seeing as much revenue generated from picking them up. Connie, I forgot what we had said on, general, on our reimbursement, on our miscellaneous there. On my notes, I didn't make that one.
I know, I printed out a thing, where's that printout, Roger? That shows this,
That big one?
yeah.
It's over there. was
I
looking at my
printed
folder
out
for it just a minute ago.
computer-generated thing of where we were this year, and that's where we were. So I'd have to, I need to go in there and I can look it up and tell y'all exactly what that is. But we're $10,000 more than, it's people that walk in and say, I wanna give $100 for this or that. We had a guy come in, matter of fact, I need to get with you. And then if they use us for something, I will tell you, one of the things that this is like animal control stuff. They come in, I wanna give this for the shelter, I wanna, that type of deal.
Have a good night.
Yeah, basically, or if they use a service
Cover
of
it up in
ours,
another folder.
it's not something that we have coded. They come in and say, I need y'all to do this or this, and we do it, and they pay for our service. It's not very much, and it doesn't happen very often, but.
All right, did you get yours on that one? Okay. Oh. Oh, I gotta bring it back. And the second, the next thing, same thing on that's not our, yeah, it is. So the CISD reimbursement you see there, that last year was 104. That was our two SROs. And since school dropped that down to 1, it'll only be the 52. So we've lost one of the SROs on that, so.
That's pretty well a wash. We don't have a salary that we're paying out and we don't get reimbursed for it.
Well, we pay 25%.
Right, but since we don't have that second SRO, we're not paying a salary to him. So, I mean, it's a wash. Okay. So we on to the general fund administration page here,
Yeah, that's where we're going.
okay? And this is.
You can
this is
see,
expenses.
So, you can see what our labor and salaries are. I mean, do you want to see each one of these, or do y'all just want to go down and, y'all look at it and see which ones you want, you have a question about there?
I just assume we touch on everything that has a difference on it, just so we're all on the same page.
On the differences?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the labor and salaries, we put one more on, you can see, well, what have we gotten?
City administrator.
Yeah,
We upped it because of the city administrator salary.
because of what we're looking at
Okay.
proposed for the city administrator, so. And, we're still working on that part of it, so. The incentives, that's what we pay at the end of the year for our,
Incentives are.
each of our employees there.
It's, like I'm a certified election judge. We pay for certifications. Just like the water department, we pay for
Our
certifications.
licenses.
We have a certified court clerk that's also a judge. Those are stuff that are built into our personnel policies and procedures that we pay. It's incentive pay for them to go out, get educated, and to better our city.
Next one is longevity, and again, it's one of those that goes into our payroll as some of our employees that we've had longer, that have been here over a period of time. At one time, a while back, council had voted to have that, and we do an incentive on that for longevity. So, we've had another, like Naomi has reached, what is she, over
She'll be
15 now,
years
so,
this year.
that has gone up. End of year supplemental pay, again, that's where I was going a few minutes ago on that. That is what we pay out at the end of the year for each of our departments, for each of our employees that we do at the end of the year. You'll see that. And that has stayed, so. Next one was payroll taxes. You see that has gone up. Again, on our taxes on that, as that pay has gone up, then obviously our taxes on the payroll part goes up, so you can see that adjust along with our labors and salaries, that adjustment. Now, we didn't have, I don't think we had 115 on our other one.
It's not, didn't show.
Yeah. So our contract labor on administration is myself, that's part of that, and there's another part because that's not all of that, so. Yeah. Yeah, so because what y'all are paying, part of it comes out of here, out of administration, it comes out of the other departments, so it falls through each department there. So, that'll be the interim pay. Employer paid insurance, you can see, and you'll see this in you won't see it in this department as much, you'll see it in most of the rest of the departments, that has gone down. We actually got a good rate when we got our insurance again, so that helped us, that allowed us to drop our rate on insurance, so that stays the same here. Employee retirement, it has gone up again as our labor and salary goes up. Each part of that package goes up. Employee training, So, you can see where we've changed that from 5,000 to 20,000. Everything that we wind up doing on that part, what we've sent out, where we go, our people that have to go to our training, the EDC falls in that. I believe, like, when we send the 2 years, we sent the administrator there, we sent Becky there. Our classes, our training that we've gone through, and that 5,000, again, one of those numbers that just did not make sense on that. So, you can see that part of it, and you can see where we're at on having, these certifications that we have, that different employees have on that have to maintain and retain that. That'll also fall in under, down there in a minute, you'll see another part of that.
And that, a lot of these increases are based upon
Actuals.
this, what we spent this year,
That's right.
and trying to make us be in budget for next year.
That's right.
Well, on the training, is that the training that we as a council also?
Yeah, we fall under
That's
that.
being increased where we've gotta have 60 hours every 2 years.
Yeah, so
that would state.
the CE hours that we get, the computer, the classes we go, the TML training, the TML conferences, those things, that all falls under this category. On materials, supplies, and repair, you'll see that stayed the same. Wait, no, I jumped 'cause the festival there. Materials, supplies, and repair, that has gone up. You'll see that, again, the cost of everything has gone up as far as everything that we purchase for what we have in here, repairs, our machines that break, our equipment in here, anything we have, it costs. So that's what we're seeing in line with what we spent this year, so. That next item you'll see it on the 05, on the 25, but you won't see it on the 26. That's the festival by the lake there, that 25,000 that was budgeted last year for that's gone away. We took that out. The festival will be taken over. We're actually working on that to where that'll go back to a committee of citizens that will go back to that, and they'll look at the way it was done several years ago before the city, tried to take that over. So we took that 25,000 out and put it back in, so. Postage, you'll see each department that we get to, that postage has gone up. I think there's only one, I think we went down, and that was in cemetery. Not sending a lot out of cemetery, but you'll see that. But postage has gone up. The United States Postal Service, thank them for my retirement, but they've gone up on postage, so that will increase in every department. You'll see that.
Talk to me about that incentive expense at 136. It doesn't look like it was in last year's, but you got 2,500 this year.
That is anything that we do, that's anything that the council does, like if somebody passes away or gets hospitalized and the council wants to send flowers to the service or to somebody that's, in the hospital, or if the council has like a budget workshop and we do food,
Okay.
that's where that goes in.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And I apologize again. So when I went over that, when I went back over here to festival over here, when I come back, I just went right over it. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Trying to keep up with what we took out and what we put in, so. So on the 26th, you see the credit card bank charges, something we don't have, that control over that. So the 500 went to the 5,000, because that's where we're at, so that's.
Is that the 2 to 3% fee that
Yes.
are we not passing that along as we collect credit card payments?
Yes,
No,
but they
that-
charge us a monthly fee.
Yeah.
They
Just-
charge us a monthly base fee, and that's for court, water, sewer, animal control. That's, every department has their own line item within our budget, and when we run the credit card, that's the account it goes to, because it automatically generates through the thing.
Payment portal.
Yeah, yes,
And-
yes.
Through October of last year, we were at 3,854. So that's why we know that's going up, so.
We do that through the budget.
Same thing with dues and subscriptions, it went up quite a bit as well.
Yeah, our dues and subscriptions, and I have that on my other one, so, this is where, for administration, the programs that we have to use, different ones, the encode that we have in here for administration that goes in here, the different, I think Toshiba is one of our
Encode.
maintenance encode that we use so much, and you'll see encode in all the departments, because it's actually a lot more than that, but it's split up over all the departments, so you'll see that dues and subscriptions come up a lot, and you'll see encode on that a lot, so.
Majority was just our software.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Okay,
You see the mileage stayed the same, but again, that's what we used, this past week, we all had that, so you'll see that. Insurance, that has gone up. Of course, insurance across the board on every single thing is the same case. There's no way around it. We've done, the policy we get through TML, we did good. Connie did a great job in not arguing with them, but, letting them know that we were
negotiating. We negotiated with.
negotiating. Yeah, you're right, not arguing, negotiated. She did a great job negotiating with them, so. But still, y'all have seen it in personal life. There's no way around what that increase on it.
That's like property, liability, workers' comp type
Yes.
stuff, insurance.
Yeah, ours went up a tremendous
Yeah,
amount.
mine too.
Okay,
Oh, insurance, legal and audit, and because we make these changes, I've got to get the right one on this side of it too. So legal and audit, she stays the same, but that's Eileen, that's our,
Cameron.
yeah, our audit is our, every year, our, we get that they come in. Again, all the work that we do with Fort Messer, or Messer Fort, all that stuff falls under this, but looks like we'll be about the same on that. Voting expense, when we have elections like that, that's what it costs. We're gonna have election probably every year, so you'll see that, so. Fortunately, it's able to stay the same, we didn't have to go up on it. Computer expense on the city side up here, again, the computers, that's every part of it, that's the computer, the program, not the programs, that falls in other, but, the printers, our laminator, everything that we do on that with the computer side of that. So we did go up a little bit on that, you'll see. Property tax appraisal fee, we went up a little bit on that. Again, we're seeing that our property tax, and again, the numbers we're looking at here obviously may change depending on what we finish doing. This is just based on what we're looking at. So, with that in mind, though, that would go up. So
that's what we pay Callahan
That's
County
right.
to collect our
Yeah.
property taxes
Yeah.
for us.
and we're gonna have more, more properties, more work.
Is that a percentage of what they collect, or is that just a flat fee?
That's a flat fee, and we
Yeah.
get it quarterly. They bill us quarterly. They send us a bill every quarter, and we cut them a check.
So roughly 12 grand a quarter, 48. Okay.
Utilities, another thing that we can, we have no control over, that, it is, we're looking at what we pay year to date and know that that's what we're on track for and what it's gonna be.
Is that just pretty much gas and electricity? I mean,
Yeah, that
telephones all.
AC that's running right now and not running hot, cold enough.
Yeah. So that covers repairs and all
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Telephone, and again, you'll see that the telephone will go up on that. Telephone is, and Connie had to educate me on this, I'll be honest with you guys. I am blown away by how much our telephone system costs. I really was surprised. I mean, I guess for all these years, I've just been used to paying a cell phone and got rid of landline a long time ago. And there is so much tied into the phone system here that we absolutely have to have. But it is so expensive, it's ridiculous. The more we got into this for each one, you know, as council before for the last few years, this is not something that I understood how high that was until this year. It's ridiculous. So you're gonna see that number is gonna go up in every department. So you'll see that same thing in every department.
And that also includes like city administrator's phone, your phone, my phone,
It
mayor.
includes cell phone,
Cell
it
phone.
includes Windstream bill, it includes our phone system bill that we pay every month to that company. It includes all of that.
Right, okay.
Is the internet tied to that as well?
I believe so, because we've got the two internet providers, so
Yes.
that
Yes.
hopefully they're
It
not
is.
both down at the same time.
Yeah, and we've worked on that, and you'll see that. You'll see where Windstream comes up in a couple of different spots here where we break it out and put it in. And yeah, we've got a year and a half left on them. We've done the negotiating down as far as that will go. It's to pay for the fiber optics that we put in 5 locations. And, you know, it's a contract that was entered into without a lot of possible. Well, it was entered into before us, so, we're stuck paying for it. We've got it down. Now Barnett did do a great job of getting that cut and getting some taken off of us and getting the time period down, but we still owe what we were locked in to owe. So you'll see that pop up again in every department where we've tried to divide it out over the departments, so. Citizens EMS, fixed asset purchase. We took that off of,
Okay.
yeah, we took that off for 26. We don't see that we're gonna be purchasing anything, on that.
Not buying a new server or anything
Yeah.
like that.
So we didn't need that in for 26. So it was, you see, it was 5,000 in 25. So, EMS subsidy, same thing on that hadn't changed, so,
It's actually gonna go down this year. If y'all remember, we were talking about it last month when we did our subsidy contract. But because we could have an influx of calls that come in from Citizens EMS, we decided just to be safe and leave that there. We didn't increase it. I think we'll come in under that, but we just felt like it was probably gonna be safe to leave it where it was.
Okay.
you'll see, performance services, and you'll see the difference in the deal on that. That, again, that's where we split that last year, where they worked with us to split that. It's gonna be more because that interest with that split on it, so, that's why you see an increase in performance services. Our bond payments, you'll see that 1/7/31/556. Again, that's our bonds. We'll have them paid, so, and next year, we see where this helps us get next year's a lot better on that part. This year, again, we struggled out from last year. We're in better shape than we were last year, so, we see that. You'll see on, 2026 that you don't see on 2025 is the TAN payment, that tax anticipatory note that we got from First Financial to help us through that part last year. So that's where you see the 300,000 payment on that right there. So with that said, that's why you see the increase from 3,546,000 to 4,048,000. So you don't have any questions on this page?
On the 10, is this 300,000, and I get them confused, like, is this principal or interest, or?
This is principal. I'm
This will
paying
be
the interest
principal.
quarterly on the
Okay.
TAN.
So is that in one of these other line items, or?
Where's the interest?
Oh,
No, we don't see the interest.
I didn't put the interest in here because I thought we were talking about renegotiating that payment to monthly.
But it's still got interest on.
I know, but I don't know what our payments will go to. I know in November, we're gonna have to pay 300,000.
Yeah, and that's
And
what.
after that, if we refinance or redo this, I don't know what that's gonna look like.
Yeah. So we have that, that's where that 300 is.
I bet we can get
Yeah, so we need an estimate.
we can get an estimated number on
Your
that.
interest payment.
It's about 30,000 a quarter,
Okay.
so
another 100.
120,000.
20, so
Yeah.
probably need to add that to that line item then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we
it's
have
right
another-
at 30 a quarter.
Yeah, that's a good catch.
Yeah, I'll make a note, put that on there.
I'd still leave it there though.
Does that make sense?
Like any other one.
Yeah.
So then that, but with that addition, that adds that total for the administration of 4,168,223. Anything else on that page? Roger, at senior citizens page, not much to it.
Again, the material supplies repair, we went down on that. There's just not that much over there that we have to
We didn't
fix or
spend
break or
close to
anything on that.
4,500 this year there.
Nowhere close. Utilities is the same on that. The nutrition agency, you'll see the difference, the 13 to 12. Again, one of those things that we pay them $1,000 a month. That's 12,000. So why the other budget had 13 in it? We don't know. So it should have been 12 last year.
Is that just the building or is
That's
that?
Meals on Wheels
That's, yeah, what we pay, what we give them for Meals on Wheels.
Okay,
to help them with their food and stuff.
okay.
Okay, that one's easy one. Cemetery.
Cemetery, kind of like that last one. We cut quite a bit out of it because honestly, there's not a lot there. You look at that first thing, the 25 down to the 500. And my note is on here for next year, for whoever counts, whatever happens next year, that we look at probably taking cemetery completely out. Parks and Rec will take that over eventually. Right now, Parks and Rec and Public Works divide the labor on that. And so when Public Works is over there and they're mowing and doing that, they're not charging the fuel, they're not charging the material, they're not charging anything to cemetery. They're charging it straight off of their account. So
So why don't we go ahead and move it this year then?
we can. That's, again, this is just a thought and a
Clean up
guide,
the
so.
Yeah,
We absolutely
just
can.
kinda clean up the account.
That's another 1,200, so again, that,
But, I mean, obviously it's gonna go underneath some other account.
yeah.
What kind of, it's got utilities here, what, I mean, do we
We
have
have lights out there,
So is it like electricity or, okay, I
yeah.
thought the cemetery was
There's,
supposed to be
there's not,
dark
there.
and
I think
scary.
we have just two lights. I think we have a light on each side, or there are
Like a
one
street
light
light or
on each
something,
side,
or-
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
a big light out there in the middle of each side.
So, I
And
mean,
again, we can wrap that, I mean, that can fall into
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec's department, so that, it's easy enough to do away with that and roll that into Parks and Rec. Cause again, that's where the cemetery's headed, into Parks and Rec along with the city park and all that, you know, so. Alright, so we can do away with that, so I'll just, mark out my next year comment here. And just roll that over. Library. We went up just a little bit on that, and the biggest reason there's a couple little changes go up and down one way or the other, but you'll see that there's just about $1,000 increase. And that's straight up that, when we asked the department heads to give us their wish list and everything else, one of the very few things that Miss Linda asked for was $1,000 for books this year. So, she always asks for very little. She does a lot with very little. So we did give that $1,000 to add books to the library. So, pretty much everything's just about the same on that. Again, a few little things that change from one side to the other. So if y'all got any questions on library, I'll answer, but that's really the only change.
And so, I'm assuming some of these that are on last year's and not on here is stuff that we didn't use
Right,
this year.
yes.
Like property acquisition expenses and.
Right.
Okay.
We'll move on to police department. You see labor, overtime, longevity. Longevity, we did have, officer leave that was, had some of that longevity, so we were able to take that down. We're not having to pay that. The rest of that stayed the same. Supplemental pay is the same, less because of the officer that we've lost. We, excuse me. Our payroll taxes, employer paid insurance, again, because of the rates that we negotiated, we were able to go down on that, so you can see that. Employee retiree, employee training, we went down a little bit on that. Again, it's based on the fact that we have a LEOS fund that the police department has that allows for training. That money that goes into that fund can be used for training. So instead of the city paying for that, we're gonna have LEOS pay for that training. So that'll take a little bit off of the city side of that and let them use that money, which is exactly what it's generated for. Material supplies and repair, we took the employee training out, you'll see that. No, we didn't, we just,
Training supplies.
yeah, that's when we went down. Material supplies and repair, again, I gotta keep these two different straight here. We went down on it from, you can see the 20 down to the 12,500. Again, this is kind of based on what we're seeing, has been used to date this year and able to budget on that. Postage, again, we went up just a little bit, because maintenance agreement contracts, we went down a little bit on that. That again is Encode, Toshiba, the everything they have in the police department, kind of like what we have here too. Again, you'll see Encode coded to either maintenance agreement and contracts, dues and subscriptions. You'll see some of that in over at different departments with the same areas. The police department has something that some of the other departments don't have, as far as you see that, 145, the dues and subscriptions, that's Cop Sync.
Leads
That-
online.
Yeah, that's the stuff that they do that the police
Exactly.
department's required to have over there that we don't have, say, in City Hall or any of the other departments, so. Legal and audit, same thing, anything that we go through, what gets done there, or if we have questions for Eileen concerning that. Utilities goes up quite a bit, you'll see, but they're in a lot bigger building. That building's a lot different from the one they were in going into the end of last year, before they got completely moved over and actually operating, and so it's a lot different now from where they were.
On last year's, line item 163 is not computer.
Yeah, the computer expense, we took it out of there. Their computers are just not anything that they need right now. They're updated and up to date on what they need there, so it doesn't look like that's anything that they're gonna need this year. Telephone, back to the same thing there. You can see, again, it's just extremely, between everything that's in there. You'll see that some of that, when we have Windstream, the part where and you're gonna see this time and again on a few different departments, that Windstream bill that we have to pay, that we finally did, there for a while, that wasn't getting done. We were arguing, negotiating with Windstream over exactly what that was, why they were sending us a bill for $10,000, $11,000 a month. We were negotiating that we didn't know that, we knew we had our $2,000, going out to the Hannah Sports Complex, and for a long time as council, that's what we thought all we had. And so that Windstream bill is what we found out at a later date was what we had been tied into for running that fiber optics. So not only is that just an extremely large bill that we have negotiated down, but we were behind in paying that because we weren't gonna pay something that we didn't know. We weren't gonna do that. So now that had to be made up. So you'll see that, that's one of the things that in last year's budget, you see a lot of that was, and this is catching that up, making that payment. Again, it's one of those things that in a year and a half, that'll be paid off and gone away. It doesn't do us any good right now, it's still gotta be paid, it's what we owe, so it's gotta be paid. But you'll see that in several departments where there's a large number there, and that's what that number is, so. Dispatcher service, something we don't have any control over, that's what we get charged. That's not us there. Vehicle expense from 13, we dropped it down to 10. We did get a newer vehicle, hopefully we won't have as much trouble. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm a little concerned about dropping that price because the rest of our vehicles are another year older yet. So,
One of the reasons we look, but that's a good point, we certainly can go back up on it, especially, we know we can go 1,200, we just found that, But
I don't know, I'm just,
one of the things is that this year we turned a lot of that maintenance over to Jerry's department. So a lot of what some of this was, Jerry and him have been able to pick up, just like the vehicle maintenance on the police cars is the tires, right? The tires and stuff. But we made that purchase in the Public Works, and now they have that tire changing machine. And Terry Deal was actually gracious enough, he actually donated a tire balancer, which is great, even considering it takes business away from himself. But he did that for the city. So some of that maintenance cost goes down simply because we're able to do that in-house now with Public Works. So, but I like the idea. I got no problem if council decides, we want to do it, because we see the last one we had over there in the shop was $400 for a fan. Get that fixed, find out that still wasn't a problem. Now they're back to, they're just constantly working on that one individual. So, but yeah, definitely that's part of it. So,
good.
fuel from 28, we left that the same. Uniform expense, we actually went down a little bit again. That's looking at what they've spent year to date. It doesn't look like they're gonna have to have that. We're down 3 officers, don't know when we're gonna get those replaced. So, we're able to subtract a little bit from that. Fixed asset purchase, we left the same. Again, that's, if we have to have anything that gets replaced, we need to have that fund in there that we can. Anything inside their building or anywhere else on that. Right, anything on that one there? You wanna move to, municipal court? We're gonna get down here in a minute. I'm probably gonna have Connie help me out on something, because it's something I negotiated with her earlier, since y'all won't let me use argue. No, we didn't argue about it. But one of the things that again, I had to get my mind wrapped around on that part. So, labors and salary, you see, stays the same, which means then, our contract labor, that's our judge. You can see that we pay judge there for that. End of year supplemental pay, we have the extra there, so we have 3, not the 2, so, payroll taxes stays the same. Employer paid insurance, you see we went down on that, again, same thing as the last couple of departments. Employer retirement stays the same. Employee training, we cut just a little bit, again, showing year-to-date that it doesn't look like there's all the training having to come up that we'll have to cover, so that's good. Materials and supplies, same. MVBA law firm expense, so you'll see that went up. They get 25% of what they collect for us, and they collected a lot more this year, which means we see that, but they also get their part. But what they collected on a lot of the year before, so what you're seeing on that, and we're getting more of that's good. That's why we've gone up. We've had multiple conversations. We're working on a little bit more with them as far as collecting our old fines, we're trying to get our court, our PD, all of that on the same page, our judge, everybody on the same page with what council's talked about, and that is going out and getting what literally is owed, and not letting so much go by and not, dismissing stuff and doing things. So we're working on that. That's a couple more conversations to be had, but we're working on that. So that's why we hope to see that, that part. Municipal court technology, we went down on that, again, looking at what we don't think that they'll have to have this year versus what was budgeted before, so we were able to make that lower. Postage, definitely gone up, but they do a lot. I mean, she sends out a lot, and the more we're trying to recover, the more we're trying to reach out and connect, you're gonna see that, plus the increase in postage by itself, so. Dues and subscriptions, again, you see, that's where we've, put Encode in for that. We have on that, so that's why it's gone from 300 to the 48. You'll see that that's part of that gets budgeted in there, so that's where that gets collected from. Legal and audit, same thing, because we're working hard at doing more to get caught back up with what we should have been all along. That is something that's, our lawyer, we visit with them more. MVBA, Eileen, or Fort Messer, a lot of this stuff that we do, our audit, that's their part of that. That's why you see such a big jump in legal and audit. Utilities, same thing, gone up a little bit. Telephone has gone up. This municipal, and this is what I was telling you about what Connie had straightened me out on this today. Municipal court shares that part of it with City Hall. So that 10,000 that's on City Hall, it's actually more than that, but municipal court pays a portion of what we spend on that telephone part, so. That 180,000 you see there from the 150, that's what the state gets. That's what we pay them for all the tickets we write and everything else. That's their cut, so.
So if I'm looking at this right, the municipal court is a zero-sum game.
Pretty much until we get these other departments doing what we're wanting, and we're pushing those departments, then yeah, we're not, it's kind of terrible how much the state and the federal part gets out of each ticket that's written, out of each part of that. It's really sad. I mean, I'm assuming they gotta get their money from somewhere too, right? So, apparently it's all of the small municipal courts, so.
So is that 180, is that tickets only written on I-20?
No, that's everything.
every ticket
That's
written.
everything.
Well,
Any
it's every
state law.
ticket written by the police department.
Right. That's what I
Yes.
meant.
But
Okay.
like inside town, on 18, all that stuff, so anyway.
Doesn't include if we write a ticket for code enforcement or anything like that, that's just state law type tickets.
All right, fire department. Now-
I see that there was a change on those last two. Does the bottom line down there, the 147, does that reflect going down in
25,000.
$25,000?
No, it has not been corrected yet. The 147 does not reflect the 25,000 that we took off yet.
Okay.
And that's what, this is a conversation that, even though we worked on this even through this morning, this afternoon, this is a conversation that was had with the fire chief just 20, 30 minutes prior to getting into this, so you don't have the changes on all that. But we did speak with, I do want you to look over there at that insurance, because that's quite a big jump. You see that 10,000 to 28, that's what TML, that's our insurance on everything, and again, insurance is, even though we got a better deal, it's still through the roof on that. But that covers all of their, what we have through TML on them. But yeah, the personal equipment expense and the fixed asset purchases, we'll rework that. You'll see that next time. You'll see the changes in that, but that will be reflected because of the conversation we had a little while ago, so.
And I want to do a shout out to Richie because we called him on this, and he said, actually, I've got 2 grants. He said that's gonna be able to help buy our bunker gear and some equipment that they
Radios and
want.
equipment.
So it takes a little bit of the headache off of the city to purchase that, because he's gone out and got some grants for it, so I wanted to at least acknowledge that.
So, does this include the fire truck payment that we make?
Yes, that is what is the fixed asset purchases.
So that's $30,000 a year for that.
It's actually more than that, it's 20, yeah,
Well, in our fixed asset, we had the 45,000
Yeah.
that we have there.
yeah.
But you marked it out and went for 30. I don't remember what the fire truck payment is, but
We pay it twice a year, in December and June, and I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how much it is, but that's that fixed asset purchases.
okay.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec? Yes? No? Okay. All right, so, labor and salaries, you see on there, increase on, labors and salaries, we have 3 full-time employees out there. We are, the possibility of dropping that, that's something that we're looking at. We've had that discussion today, again, with the director there. Right now, that's what we have, so that's what we budgeted, so we show that. So that may change, and again, that's something that over the next little bit, we may even be able to see a change in. We do know that we're gonna have 1 employee leaving, at the end of the summer part of that. So we'll see if that gets replaced, or if we move one of our individuals over and change that. So we may see a difference in that.
So it looks like we've gone up quite a bit in the labor and supplies. Well, it's probably labor and salaries.
Yeah, I don't think that's supposed to say supplies, that's supposed to say salaries.
See a pretty good increase in that.
Yeah, yeah, it
We,
would, yeah.
What are we thinking there?
What he was just talking about.
Wait, in salaries or supplies?
Yeah,
Well, salaries.
That's what we were just talking about that.
That's what we were
3
just
now.
on.
Three now, but
How many?
right, last year when he did this, he only budgeted for 2, but we have 3 full-timers out there.
so we
have
added
Brady.
one last year, okay.
Yes, we have
Okay.
Brady, the groundskeeper, and the concession now.
That's what I wasn't getting.
Yes.
Well, and having that typo, having supplies listed up there throws the whole thing off.
It does, it does.
Yeah, it's labor and salaries.
I do notice we eliminated overtime.
Yes, we did. Where we encourage comp time,
Okay,
especially like during the week when we don't have something going on out there. If they have to work, 12 hours a day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and get comp time and can take off during the week, we can adjust that and not have to pay overtime.
I mean, you work a bunch of hours that weekend, you got a tournament coming up. You either A, you're getting ready for it, or B, comp time, basically, like you're saying, you don't work a little bit to.
So we're trying to, as much as we can, we're getting away from the overtime part of it. Now, there's some departments you just cannot get away from, police department, sewer, water, those are, you're just not gonna be able to get away. But Roger and I felt like we could get away from overtime in this department. Do y'all wanna put it back in?
No,
Oh, okay.
If we don't need it, we don't need it.
no, we're just calling it out as good.
Oh, okay.
All right, the end of year supplemental, again, you see that because we have the one, and actually, looking at that right now, I would take that 500 off of that, because we're not gonna have that third employee.
Well, I know, and I didn't change the payroll taxes and stuff, but
Nah, we'll leave it till we make that decision. Right now, it's budgeted, so we'll say, well, it's just one of the items that's out there that we can work with, so. All right, so payroll tax is the same there. Contract labor is our, when we hire concession stand workers, our high school, you know, that come in there and do that, wait. So what I said, I asked you about that earlier today, and we said that we put those, yeah, in this department that is. All right, so, the insurance, you see,
and it's supposed to be employee paid
Yeah,
insurance, not
PD.
odd.
yeah, PD.
Golly.
Again, because we redid these several times, some of those little ones get done there.
Can I go
yes.
back? What was contract labor again? What is,
Concession employees.
that's not the one.
No, that's Kemper.
Yeah, Kemper and high level.
Kemper
Yeah.
on them, okay.
And that's what I said when I was like, what did I asked you about that today, and where did we put, because we had,
Cause that's awful, that's low if we're paying, that's a low amount if we're paying, if that's Kemper and high level, cause Kemper's more than that.
Well, high level, they're gonna take their money straight off of what we receive. We won't be paying
Right.
them.
yeah, that's off of,
But Kemper, our,
What's 60?
Kemper's 65.
ought to be about 72,000, maybe even more than that. Yeah, 78,000,
Keeps the nose in.
We'll have to look at that and come back.
yeah, cause I would.
Yeah, I think I kept that, I kept it the same because, but you're right, if we're, what, 65 times 12?
78.
Yeah, well, that needs to be changed.
I got 7, 8.
But we don't need to include high level anymore in there.
No.
Should be Kemper,
So it'd just be Kemper?
Add
No
it
more
on there.
expected, just
I
Kemper.
think so.
No, because our employees that work for us out there, they're employees of ours. I run them through payroll. They just don't get benefits. They're included in that 144.
So the school kids and everything.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which is
So basically, we need to make sure that contract labor covers whatever's in there plus Kemper, right?
No,
Just Kemper.
just Kemper.
Just Kemper.
No.
What, I
high
mean,
level.
small town select and all that, I mean, is
It's
that,
almost
That
3,000.
falls under Clyde Community Park expense.
okay?
That's where I put them. I mean, if y'all want me to move them up to that, I can.
Okay.
I think I'd rather move it up there because
Be
Clyde
better.
Community
Okay.
Park's over on the other side of
It'd be a
town.
better reflection.
That's what it's called,
Expense.
right?
That's what that
The park.
program is called, but it,
Well, we just
that's
need to
Clyde
change the
City
wording
Park.
of what you wanna call it then.
Yeah, that's.
Because it's in the Parks and Rec
That's true.
department.
That's
Right.
true.
Parks has their own department. So, I mean, I can change the wording to say Hanner Sports Complex expense.
It'd be easier to read
Okay.
as you roll through.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
Okay, so where are y'all changing that at? Down on
295 is gonna
Okay.
be Hanner Sports Complex expense.
And is that 170, no, does that 175 include the Kemper?
No.
No. it
So
would
what
still
is,
be on
what does the
111.
175 include?
Concessions,
Small town select,
Concessions.
175 is utilities.
No,
no, we have
Oh, the
listed
hundred and
on-
seventy-five thousand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
175,000.
includes your Pepsi, your Benny Keith, any,
Concessions.
yeah, yeah, that's
All
what
the
that is.
Food supplies.
Yes, and all that, yes.
Okay.
and not just that, but,
Small Town Select, I
Yeah,
put in
that.
there.
okay. Okay.
So, but we're gonna move Small Town Select under contract labor. Because we have a contract with Kemper.
Yeah,
So I consider them to be more like contract labor, because they're doing work for us out there. We don't have anything with Small Town Select.
Well, let's give them their own line then if we can.
Yeah, I can add, y'all just tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, that way, when we're looking, I mean, it splits it out a little better for us.
Okay,
That's easy.
yep, I'll add one in for Small Town Select.
Sure.
And one for Kemper.
Well, Kemper's under contract labor.
Do you wanna break out contract labor individually like that, like what is?
Well, she said
Kemper.
she doesn't consider small town select contract labor.
Well, yeah, we're not paying them, they're keeping
They take a
their
portion of
portion of the
Right.
money. So we're not actually paying them anything. We're not getting paid for what they're doing, but we're not actually paying them.
Well, if there's no charge to it, then it wouldn't be on here at all. right?
No, well, like, for example, the gate fees.
Okay.
S2 Pass, all that comes through that machine. And then they put it into our account, they direct deposit it, and we owe them a portion of it. But it's not,
So there is an actual expense.
there is an actual
Depends on what
expense,
we
but
know.
it's not, they're not working for us. They're not going out there and
They're
doing
just getting
our,
their portion
their
of the
commission
yes,
or
of the gate fees for tournaments they booked.
So they should have their own line, definitely.
Yeah, that's fine. I can add a Small Town Select line.
That would help.
That's easy enough to do.
So we're still,
Okay, but now, and that's fine, but Small Town Select's not the only one we use. There's still, not High Five, but there's a couple of them that we use that are similar to that. Now, they're not the same as, like Triple SA, whenever they book a tournament to us and stuff like that.
But I don't think, they don't take our gate fees. They keep the registration fees and stuff.
But,
I don't-
but this is all still part of that same,
But I don't pay them.
We don't get.
There's
so
no
Small
money
Town
is no
Select
money.
is gonna have its own
They
line
take theirs
item.
right off the front.
yeah, we don't ever see that
There's not
money.
even money.
Right.
It's everything new.
And, on Small Town Select, you know, we talked about that, and I don't know if I brought that up to y'all that after we had that meeting with, both Kemper and with High Level. You know, I posed that question to them exactly like that, hey, without telling them what we were talking about, but pose that question, how does this work in other places? And they're not, whereas I thought we were kinda getting messed over on that, that's the process, so, you know, it's finding
Okay.
it.
So y'all
getting our
change
tournament
your
after doing it ourselves
expense
is
to
the answer.
125?
Yes, sir, I agree.
But until then, we'll have that as
Change the
another line
expense to
item.
125 and add Small Town Select for 50. And I think that's probably high for Small Town Select, but if we're gonna keep using them and booking in more and more tournaments, I'd rather be err on the side of,
So,
yeah.
So back up to contract labor.
Change it to 78,000.
So, we're not adding 78,000 to
No.
that, we're just gonna go from
We're gonna
35
go
to
up
78.
to 78, yes.
Okay.
And the expense covers all the food, everything,
So
everybody?
far this year.
Okay.
That's, I mean, y'all might really wanna think about, increasing that a little bit, because the more tournaments we book, the more stuff we're gonna have to buy.
well, and Amy had a good idea, and that's
Oh, I know, I love that
yeah.
idea.
So what we're gonna work on is getting a detailed inventory report to add into the, financial statement, for council
Oh,
packets.
good.
Yeah, so,
Know what's in and
That's
out.
yeah,
great.
that way we can actually see each month what we're doing out there, so, yeah, that was a good idea, so we'll put that down already to make that happen, so.
So basically, 35. So that's gonna be a net
You
increase.
know what we could do, looking at this? We can put, I bet that's what that 584 professional services is. I bet that's Kemper.
Where's 584?
Look on your fiscal year 2025.
Yeah, cause that's the
We
number
can-
back saying.
Now,
Yeah,
that
we
comes
can
back
put
closer
that
to the
back
number I
on
came
here.
up with over here, so.
Yep, we can put that back over here. We'll move the 584 and get rid of contract labor.
Yeah.
So totally get rid of contract labor.
Yeah, I don't know why we would contract any labor out there other than,
She runs the concession kids through the labor and salary.
Okay.
yes, If they work for
So-
us, yeah.
So it's still a net $43,000 increase to that 510,336.
Yes.
What does that change that to?
510,336 plus 43,000.
Mark out contract labor.
553,336.
236?
336. So basically, it went from 510 to 553.
Okay.
Instead of professional services, do we want to put Kemper as the title for that? I mean, we're under contract with them for the next 3 years, so. And then there won't be any confusion on whether or not there are any other,
Services.
contracts with them. They'll have their own line item on that.
Yeah.
Oh, name.
Yeah.
Our professional services and then outside at Kemper, but yeah.
Okay, so I wanna make sure I'm on the same page with y'all. So I marked out 111.
The contract.
I got rid of it altogether. 295, I took down to 125,000,
Right,
and I'm gonna change the name to Hannah Sports Complex expense.
right,
I'm gonna add Small Town Select for 50,
right.
and I'm gonna put back in 584 professional services, Kemper in parentheses 78,000.
I think that works.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this, is this is Parks and Rec, so, I mean, is there anything?
No, this is Hannah Sports Complex.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
So Parks and Rec,
Parks Recreation is Hannah Sports Complex.
so is there any expense, any expenses for the park? I mean, is there a budget deal for the park on the other side of town?
Yeah, we already did it. Oh, did we not do it? Hang on.
I haven't
Parks and
seen
Rec.
it.
Yeah.
Hang
I mean, I know unfortunately there's repairs and all that.
on. No,
Jazz.
all of that falls, I'm sorry, all that, the city park out there and the pavilion over here, that falls under Public Works right
Under-
now.
Yeah, under theirs. Now, again, when we break out, when we actually, so we have the department created, but we haven't fleshed out having a staff for Parks and Rec right now. So when we started Parks and Rec, we know what we want in the future, but Parks and Rec right now, Parks and Rec part of it is Hannah Sports Complex, is Brady and that crew there. That's why we have so much of the cemetery or the city park or the pavilion gets done by Public Works. But eventually, that's gonna come off of Public Works.
And go into
And fall
this.
under Parks and Rec. Once that 3 to 5, once we see where Hannah Sports is, so.
When we created this department, the intent was Hannah Sports Complex, the city park, the pavilion, and maybe the lake.
Right.
Right.
It's all-
But
And the cemetery.
yeah, and the cemetery. But as it worked out, the people that were running Hannah Sports Complex couldn't do all of those. So this department just became Hannah. And then the others stayed under Public Works. And then the lake has their
So
own line item
Lake is
too.
the next page that has their own.
Yeah,
And uniform expenses, they wear,
They
okay,
don't have
Right.
any uniforms at all right now, but we want to, like,
Get-
those guys out there, kind of, one, having a shirt like what we have when they're working tournaments and stuff that designates who they are there. But also our maintenance out there, when they're mowing, we want to get them a long sleeve work shirt, kind of like what our Public Works guys have and stuff. So they don't have a uniform expense unless we create one for them, so.
I mean, right now, if somebody goes out there, nobody knows who works there and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the concession stand.
Yeah.
And that won't be outfitting, our,
Part-timers.
part-timers. That'll just be our full-time employees.
Yeah.
Okay. So on to the lake.
All right, you'll see that there's a little bit of change in this, not much, just a little bit addition on it. Labor and salary's the same in the year, payroll taxes. We did go down a little bit on the employer paid insurance again. Retirement's the same. Materials, supplies, and repair. You can see that,
We took out employee training.
Okay.
yeah, over here on this one, yeah. The 10,000 up to the 30,000 on that. We took out also the lake sign expense. Some of the other things that we had, that you can see down there, that lake improvement expense on 25. Some of those things just needed to be rolled into one item. They're the same exact things. While they were split off and budgeted out separately, they just need to be the one item because they fall under the same thing. So what we cut out over on from 25, you'll see that it's the same. It adds back up here on 26. So. Or close to that.
So you
that
got
add
10
there.
and 10 on 25 plus 500 if you want, so you're still at 20,500, so it's still
We still went up to
9,000,
500.
9,500. Right, increase.
Didn't know if we wanted to add some campsites or,
Well, we are trying that, expanding that. We're getting him to mow further out as he goes. Each time he's making a little bit bigger pass out there, clearing out more of that area, looking at what we can do to expand the, of course, some of this is what we know we're gonna have. Last year that we didn't have in there was that tank, the sewer tank
Yeah,
that
septic
collapsed
tank
in there, so,
$10,000.
yeah.
and we're having a lot of trouble with that gate, that arm and
Well,
stuff.
That's
So
gonna have to be.
we're gonna have to budget to fix that and,
Yeah.
And it's, his house, the lake keeper's house and the upkeep and maintenance on it, the barn, the outbuildings that we have out there, so. There's several things that need to be taken care of out there so that he can hopefully do a better job out there on some of our stuff.
And this doesn't include anything like the intake spot and all that stuff.
The intake part, the lake maintenance part of it,
Right,
No.
this doesn't include all the water.
no, that's
like the
underwater.
intake.
Yeah,
We
that'll-
have lake
yeah,
pumps
that'll
and
come
all
up in a
that
minute, yeah.
underwater.
Okay.
Roger, you had been going up on utilities and telephone and a lot of other ones, and these are the same.
Yeah,
we just
he's
have.
on his own out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Bless his heart.
A lot of the phone system requires good internet, and there's probably just not
It's not very good.
much out
Right.
there, so he's kind of on his.
Fuel, we went up just a little bit. Again, fuel goes up. Vehicle expense, we actually went down on. He's just got the one truck and it's in pretty good shape, so we're not anticipating problems with that. So we was able to cut a little bit out of there. And heavy equipment expenses, tractors, mowers, all that kind of stuff right there. Stayed the same, but, there's a lot of equipment out there that, has to be.
So, I guess, we only ended up about $2,000 more, but I know we added 9,500 to them, the materials and supplies. Where'd we get the rest of the cuts?
Well, we took out
The insurance is part of it.
4,000,
Okay, yeah, insurance.
almost 5,000 out of the insurance.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Tweaks.
We also took out his employee training, so that
Right.
500 sign.
Yeah, man, I've got a few questions that we'll address.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So we good to go to code enforcement?
I think. Labor and salaries, overtime, longevity, again, overtime is Lynn and Amber when they're, oh no, that's animal control, sorry, code enforcement.
That's my,
James
James.
and Jason. James, Jason, Terry, and
Tony.
Tony, yeah. Longevity stays.
Can we go back, the overtime, did I miss something? Did I hear somebody say that was for animal control?
No,
I Yeah, I said Lynn and Amber,
They're underneath a different.
but I messed up. That's animal
So do
control.
we need to eliminate that?
that's-
Cause I
No.
don't
No,
see
no.
code enforcement needing
No, no,
overtime.
no, no. Oh, you're talking about Lynn?
When is overtime needed for code enforcement?
The only time you would need code enforcement if you had a building collapse or something like that and they had to go out after hours or something like that. But honestly,
They could do comp time.
yeah, we can get rid of it.
Okay.
Eliminate it.
Yeah, we don't really use it now.
Okay, so we'll go 0 on that. Good, good, good. Back to longevity, again, that's where Terry and, several of our employees there have been there a long time. Tony's been there over 10 years, almost 12 now, I think. 15, yeah. End of year supplement is the 4 employees. Payroll tax is the same. Again, we dropped, employer insurance, 21,000. Retirement's the same. Employee training, they actually, even though we dropped it a little bit, they actually do have to keep up their license, their certifications, their training on some of that stuff that they do get, so, and again, depending on how many people we keep there, that may change, but for right now, that's what we're budgeted. Materials, supplies, and repair, again, based on what they've used year to date, we went down on that, so we cut 1,000 out of that. Postage, and that probably could go up a little bit on that, but they're really not. I mean, they're not as much as the PD or municipal court. So we left postage the same on that. There's just, not sending out the letters like the rest of them
So
are.
does that include when we do P and Z letters and all that stuff?
Yes.
Like joining changes and all that?
Any violations that he finds, tall weeds and grass, any planning and zoning that they have to mail to all the neighbors around
Right,
within
that's what I'm
200
asking.
feet, yeah, that includes
Okay.
all that.
And hopefully we do more of that this year. But
Right.
again, we left this number where it is based on what they've done this past year to date. It wasn't as much as with the 1,500 over here. It wasn't as much as we thought that it would have been, but we do believe it will be. So that's why we left that the same. Dues and subscriptions, you see it went up, and that's in code on that part. That's where in code is. Legal and audit. Terry's actually been doing a lot with legal and audit as far as a lot of the those plats, replats, a lot of the stuff that you've seen that's come through that council's seen that's happened. So there's been a lot of that he has.
Building codes,
Yeah,
things like
a lot of
that.
that, and worked with, again, with Eileen on quite a few items that have come up, so we know that that's gonna be a little bit higher this year. Computer expense, see, we took it down a little bit, again, same thing, anywhere where we can cut a little bit, we're trying to, so we don't believe that they need as much on that, so we took that down. Telephone went up a little, same thing, again. Vehicle expense, we went down on,
No,
oh, no,
it's the
I
same.
know,
The same.
the other one I missed, I got my fingers crossed over here. So vehicle expense, the same, fuel expense, the same. You see, we took out the professional services, what do we?
We didn't use that at all this year under
And
this.
so not 100% sure why that was budgeted, what that was last year, but we have no usage in it this year at all.
Where does like Bureau Veritas and stuff fall at underneath some of the?
That's court. Oh, I'm sorry, Bureau Veritas.
Like the building permits and
That's-
the.
That's gotta be in the
inspection.
dues and subscriptions, I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
Or is that why we had professional services, is that Bureau
could be.
Veritas?
You know what? I bet it is.
I don't know if we spent that much again.
Well, that tells me we're probably not coding it in the correct line item. I bet
Right.
you're right. I bet this is Bureau Veritas.
Good catch, Paul.
Yeah, let's put that back in.
That's, yeah, that.
And I'll get with Naomi when she is coding those Bureau Veritas,
you ought to be able to See what.
Because I haven't seen Bureau Veritas on
I haven't
any of
either.
our
She's
paperwork,
putting
so.
it in something else. I guarantee you, she's putting it in a different line item.
Yeah, we need to put that back in.
Yeah, I'll get with Naomi and make sure that we code that Bureau Veritas into professional services. What do you thought about
Yeah,
that?
I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. I still think our budget is upside down with code enforcement. I think we spend entirely too much for the revenue generated by it. So I think we need to keep looking at that and see if we can't bring that number closer.
With that in mind, and the conversation you and I had on that, I had a conversation this morning out here today with one of the code enforcement officers and explained again. Now Terry's on vacation this week, so we don't have him. I have, made it very clear to Terry what council expects on that. So with that in mind, I'm not gonna point out where, but a house viewable from here has been exactly what you're talking about. It's been written up several times and nothing's been done on it, and they know that. So send him over there today to issue a citation. It's time for it, so we did that today. And to this degree, that'll kind of be a test case to make sure. Now, again, I have a meeting on Thursday with our judge to discuss some of that. That's something I'll discuss with y'all on the direction you want me to take with that. But that's something that you're 100% correct on. It has to be adjusted, and
I mean, we don't want them walking around like an HOA, type deal where they're over the top, overzealous.
Yeah.
But, just let's enforce the ordinances we have within
Yes.
reason, and I think it'll help the community as a whole.
it will. And I can tell you that the employees are not shy about doing their job. Part of it is doing your job and then not getting that support for having done your job. Because these guys, they take a lot of abuse out on the street. When you're telling somebody that, hey, your grass is too tall or your yard's trash, these guys get cussed at and called every name in the book. And they don't mind doing their job, but then when they do their job and it goes to court and there's no backing to what they've done, it's a little disheartening, but that discussion has been had, and as of today, there was something done to kind of give us an idea that that's gonna change, because it was also made clear exactly what we talked about. If there's no revenue generation for that department, how do we justify keeping employees in a department that's not even covering what it takes to run a department? So that was made clear, so.
So with that, adding that professional services back in, taking overtime out, that
$5,000.
$5,000, is what we need to change the bottom.
5,000 to it.
Yeah.
Well,
so
and I'm gonna redo these tomorrow and I'll resend them out to y'all.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So 584, we go back to professional services.
Yes, and that's gonna be for Bureau Veritas, and I'll get with Naomi to make
Yeah,
sure we
and-
start coding that bill there.
And if that's 7,500,
Yeah.
if we can go look at all the stuff that we sent out to Bureau Veritas, that'll give us a better idea if that needs to be 7,500, needs to be 10 grand, needs to be 5,000, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's easy enough to do, all I gotta do is pull their AP
No,
file.
oh, yeah,
and look at it.
absolutely.
So, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
good.
Okay.
Animal control, now we're to animal control. And jump ahead to 107, that's a typo. Did you mark that out on their page?
I did, yes.
Okay, never mind, you already see that.
It should have always been 1040.
Yeah, it wasn't 14, that's
Had a
just
steady hand.
a keystroke there.
And this is two FTEs, right?
Yes,
Okay.
All right, so this Lynn and Amber there, so you got that. They actually do have overtime.
they work on the weekends at the kennel, they have to take care of it. and-
Yeah, so they do.
I mean, I think
And then a
if,
lot of calls
y'all-
come in on weekends.
I mean, if y'all wanna make them adjust their hours during the week for whoever's on call going out there, they go home, but, I mean, we really need animal control here during the day.
With all the feral cats and
Yes,
dogs we're
yes.
seeing more and more of, I don't know that we need to cut there.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if that keeps continuing, I mean, we may have to look at a spay and neuter ordinance or something for the city.
Well, and y'all do not realize how many calls we take a day about there's a dog running down, you know, blah, 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 so, and if you've got one of them that's cleaning the kennel, you gotta have the other one go get the dog or the, you know, whatever,
With a cow.
get the
cow,
cow, the horse, I mean,
yeah.
Like during school,
literally.
we had that cow going down 18
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
buses trying to dodge it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
good,
So,
I'm
yeah, we
glad
can
y'all
do
didn't
that.
wanna change that,
I don't see where we really can.
no. We did have, we had, these two ladies, have both hit their 5 years, so,
Awesome.
yeah. That's why the longevity went up. We had another one hit anyway, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so, long as you're there, same thing, the two for the supplemental, our end of year payroll tax is the same. Again, gone down on paid insurance, on employee paid insurance. Retirement's the same. Employee training, we left the same. Again, that's something they gotta keep up with, so. Animal equipment, cages, nooses, the ropes, everything they use on, you know, what the, I know noose was probably the wrong word, but
Yeah.
that's what that,
Yeah, that's
that's what
there.
Yeah.
that thing is,
Snare.
you know, so.
Yeah.
So, their equipment. Animal shelter, we went up a little bit on it. The cost just of maintaining it, running it, everything out there is a little bit higher, the food they get out there. You know, we get a lot of stuff donated and that's great. We got citizens that help out, so animal shelter's up a little bit. You'll notice on 05 or 25 that we took out the mosquito spray and the equipment. We don't spray for mosquitoes anymore, so that's gone. We took that completely out. Postage is the same. Again, there's not a lot that they send out. There's certain things that they do and they have to, but not a lot there. Vet fees, leave the same. Again, we wind up taking stuff, going straight to the vet with it, so.
That's that low.
What?
Well,
I was surprised it was that low.
Oh, yeah.
most,
It's a good
most of
deal.
the time, if we get an animal and they need rabies, because that's required by the state, obviously, we have the owner meet us at the vet, and they have to pay for it. We do not. Those vet fees are like if we have to send something off for testing, that we think it may be rabid or something like that. That's what those. We don't own pets. We don't have a bunch of vet fees.
Dues and subscriptions is where we put in code over there again.
Big adjustment.
I want to have it here, 225, yeah. That's just.
Yeah, it is a big adjustment.
Legal and audit stays the same. Computer expense, we went down on. Telephone, giving back to Windstream, paying that bill, getting that caught up. Vehicle expense, you know, they both have trucks, we gotta keep them up and running and maintained. Fuel expense, we didn't go up on, although that probably could, you know, just because, but the rising and lowering of gas, we just decided to leave it alone. Uniform expense, that's the same. It didn't have any change on that. It's just the two of them. And the fixed asset purchase, that's the 2,000. We don't have.
You just moved it
Yeah,
up.
we just moved it up.
Was
That's we were looking for it earlier, but it's up.
Bottom, but it's up. a
Yeah,
little
AC
bit.
license fees and renewal. That's again something they have to have. So.
What do we foresee as a fixed asset purchase?
Oh, if they have to have a lawnmower or, you know, something like that.
They're cages, they're little cages that we have. That's where we have that up here, their supplies and stuff like that.
Right.
But out there at the animal shelter, we'll have the fencing out there, we'll have the separation cages out
Okay.
there. There's things out at the animal shelter that have to be taken care of like that. So that's more where the fixed asset comes in at. right, streets. Streets, we have two.
No, that's where all your public works
Yeah,
guys are,
yeah,
except for your
this is
water
where,
and sewer
how,
and
so,
sanitation.
Public Works has several different departments, but this is the big one for Public Works. So, labors and salary, overtime, even though we cut overtime, there is a lot of that happens. No, wait, this is
No,
on streets,
this is
so-
streets. The
yeah,
only time that
yeah.
we use
That's why we
overtime is
cut
when
the
they have to
overtime.
block off for a parade.
Uh-huh.
Or we have flooding and they have to come out and put the
Yeah.
barriers up and things like that. Most of the public works guys' overtime falls within water and sewer.
So,
But are we catching all of the public works salary in this?
Yes.
Line item?
Yes,
so is that what, 5?
No.
No, not all of Public Works, just those street.
just, we're not, Scotty Glenn, your water operator, which is 2 people, should be at least 2 people, and your sanitation have their own department.
Okay.
Everybody else, Dennis, Jason Baba, Jerry, all your other public works guys, Chris Donlin, they all fall under streets.
What is that, about 5? 5 or 5?
Seven.
There's about 7.
Yeah, it's
There's
7.
about 7 of them. Kenny, let's see, cause I do them alphabetically, Baba, Bowman, Donlin, Kenny Moore, Jerry Perkins, Dennis Whitmire,
Marcus,
Marcus, I said Bowman.
oh, Smalls.
Nope, he's sanitation.
Sanitation, yeah.
I'm missing somebody.
And
I
some
think
of
there's
those-
7.
Some of those, I mean, obviously sanitation's usually 3 days a week, right?
Yeah, but their whole salary gets charged to sanitation.
Okay.
Even on those other days,
They work on the trucks.
yeah.
They do maintenance, oil changes. They do all that on their,
So you say there's about 7?
yeah, I think there's 7 in
Yeah,
there.
there's 7 of them.
Okay. Okay.
But that's why we lowered the overtime, because streets doesn't do a lot of overtime. It's only when they block off, or, like I said, we have flooding, something like that. But their overtime is when they get called out after hours because there's a sewer stop or a water leak. And I charge that to sewer and water,
Okay.
so that we
Which is
know
why you see the
exactly.
difference in how low overtime is versus if we actually have
Right.
that breakage where it goes to a different line.
Okay.
So that was overtime, so longevity, you've got, again, out of 7 employees, you've got some employees that have been there for a while. End of year supplemental pay, that's where I come up with 7.
Yes.
So we have that, so payroll taxes stayed the same. We went down on employer paid insurance a little bit. Retirement stays. Material and supplies, you see we went up quite a bit on that.
Take the training completely out.
Yeah, on
Yes.
theirs, we didn't see anything under them that, where training was for that, so we took it completely out.
At one time, probably training on new equipment that we didn't purchase. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay. You know me, David, I'm not used to talking this much. You call BS, huh?
Maybe.
So utilities went up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on utilities, ask Connie, over here for $1,000 for that building over there, I actually made a note out here that I'm gonna share. It's ridiculous, and that's kinda what I put, but $1,000 for utilities on that building over there?
I mean, that's electricity and,
Well, we get that's not enough, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
50
God.
Yeah, you've got
But
the new
that building-
the building behind it. You've got all that
the
over
one
there.
across the street.
Yeah, right there on the corner. That's where that building that's where this building gets coded.
Right.
And the small office building behind that,
Yeah.
the maintenance shop behind that,
Right.
the,
The one across the street, across, 2nd Street? The old ambulance barn?
Oh, yeah, that too,
Yeah, the
yes,
little-
yes, yes.
and the little building out there that we occupy when we have, on 3 days a week out there, or 3 days, 2 days a week, once a month. So yeah, all of those buildings, everything out there, the utilities for all, of it, for a whole bunch of them. That's why we couldn't believe that was only $1,000 when, and again, that's where we show what
So-
we've got year to date on what we
So
spent.
that reflects what we got pretty well year to date, plus a few more months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I did is I took it and we have 8 months over here and I added to it, and that's about what we're gonna finish the year at.
That is quite high, I mean, you know, like, the utilities on this building's only 10 grand.
Yeah, well, our building's nothing compared to what they have over there.
Sure.
Plus that other the old ambulance building, and yeah,
Okay.
it's a big building over there.
And again, not just the one building.
Tell them to turn the
It's
thermostat up.
multiple buildings in that.
I mean,
Probably-
you got it up in here, geez.
They have tools, they have electrical tools and stuff.
I work outside, this feels great to me. Yeah.
Comfortable.
All right, keep on.
So, we were at utilities there, utilities here. On TxDOT streetlight expense, I did make that call.
What is that?
Jerry does not know.
It's something we charge
And
every single
we have
month.
it in here,
Yeah.
we're
And
paying.
I'm assuming that streetlights,
Well, and Jerry said he thought it may be the streetlights inside town that are on 18 and 20 that we have, and that may be the TxDOT streetlights.
Okay.
He's gonna double check for us and find out exactly what it is. What we have here, what we show here, it just shows us what we're being charged monthly for.
What we pay every month for
Yeah.
them.
So
And I
we're
will
gonna
tell
find
you,
out exactly what that one is.
December was way higher than any other month, so that tells you when they do Christmas stuff, or if they hang something, or,
well, you also, I
We
mean,
didn't hang
We
it.
didn't
we didn't
have-
hang
but I
those.
mean, I'm looking back, when I looked back
Oh,
on
yeah.
budgeting stuff, so it makes me think it is something either on South First or Stevens.
It gets darker early too, so you're running them longer.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, that's true,
I
that
mean,
is
during
true.
the summer, don't get dark till 9 o'clock,
Right.
whereas during the winter,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
5:30 or 6
Before
o'clock.
next meeting, we'll know exactly
I
what
don't
that
know
one is,
exactly
but
what
it
it
is
is.
something that
Yeah.
But it is something that we pay for
Yeah.
every single month.
But I did check on that, when it came in, so, vehicle expense, we left the same, good thing over there, again, Public Works guys do a lot of our maintenance and work on a lot of that stuff. Fuel,
Your usage was down this year.
yeah, and again, that goes back to seeing where we're at year to date, and then basing out the next 3 months on that, we saw we could go down a little bit on that. Uniform expense, we did go up a little bit on that. $750 there.
Yeah.
Heavy equipment expense, we went up again, that's their tractors, their front end. We, just 2 days ago, working on the road out at HSC, we blew a seal. Those things happen on a lot of that old stuff. And again, Jerry does a great job of keeping that stuff up and running, but every little thing costs more now than it has been, so. The streetlight project, we took completely out, so you'll see that's gone. That was something that had anticipated that didn't come through, so. Base and asphalt stays the same. UPM stays the same. Culverts, we dropped the culverts because, again, this is where we go back to what we kind of looked at with how we're going to start addressing contractors that we're going to stop doing everything up front, that contractors are gonna have to do more of that themselves. So we felt like we could take some of that down because of that, so. And street signs, we increased because if you drive around town, they're horrible. We've got to get that done. That's one of the big complaints that I hear, and
You know, driving a school bus, there's
Yes.
lots of roads that ain't got no dadgum sign, you know, where they're supposed to be, so yeah, I'd love to see, get some of that stuff
so,
updated.
so that's a part of why that street signs went up there.
Yeah. So nothing really changed on that as far
No,
as the
not,
bottom line anyway. We got
not greatly on that, not too bad.
Well, I'm not saying,
Well, again, that's because we had budgeted 1,000 for utilities. We had to make that up, so.
right, okay. All right, so that pretty well closes out the general fund, correct?
It does.
We've been going 2 hours, I think it's time to pause for the cause.
Okay, so I guess we will take a
10 minutes?
10-minute recess and,
Thank you.
Get some air.
we'll be back in just a bit.
there's a bathroom right here, a men's bathroom, there's a women's restroom right back through this hallway door, so.
Mr. Administrator, I've got a question. It is animal control, what's their area of authority?
Yeah.
We actually, are we still contracted with Cross Plains? Don't we still? I mean,
We
we don't,
contract
we
with
don't
Merkel.
actively, patrol, like looking for animals all the way to Cross Plains. But we contract with Cross Plains and Merkel to actually service them if they have a animal problem or a situation we need to go to.
So they
But
can
mainly,
go-
it's right here inside the city limits.
They can go anywhere?
Well,
If we contract with
the
individuals,
county will sometimes call us.
yeah.
Why I'm asking, let me tell you why I'm asking.
Okay.
You got all those dogs out there.
There have been, a herd of dogs running at night, a pack, and they killed a guy's cow.
Is it out in the county or is it in the city?
No, it's in the
It's up by
county.
his house on
Okay.
18.
But it's west of Union Hill. It's,
Yeah, we won't service that.
why?
Unless the sheriff's department calls us,
They have to call the sheriff and then they'll call you.
well, they'll determine if they wanna call us or not, because we do charge the county if we go out and
If
do.
they come across my place, I just shoot them.
I'm glad you said that. I had that suggestion. I was like, that sounds like,
Sounds like
again,
they're-
property protection there, so.
Blowing lead on their dot.
We don't just free them
It strikes me that there ought to be
for
some.
our employees.
that
Well,
you
the
could-
county?
You could expand.
Hell, I'm
their-
sweating.
Does Clyde have an EV?
We do.
How far east does that go?
Been looking at this for 2
It's basically 3 miles, but going towards Baird,
Oh, I know. Well, I get stiff with these knee replacements.
yeah, it's 3 miles. Now, we've expanded it on the east because we work with Abilene.
I will say that in my neighborhood, the animal situation has improved.
Are you in the city limits?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm off the South Fourth, Kennedy, South Fourth and Kennedy, that area. And, I've got a little 7-pound dog that knows his borders. You know, I don't have a front fence, but he knows if he goes out in the yard with me, he knows. Don't go past.
Yeah.
He knows his boundaries. I cannot take him in the front yard with me because I never know when there's gonna be a pit bull come by.
Sure.
It's not as bad as it used to be,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like he'll be in the backyard crying, I wanna go work in the flower bed with you, and I have to leave him in the backyard, and he grew up knowing his boundaries from, you know, and so my dog's being punished by having to stay
Yeah.
in the backyard because,
Well, that's definitely one that, that's when you need to,
yeah, well,
But
by the time you call, the dogs are gone.
that's the other thing, and
Yeah,
that's,
so I
even with that
kinda
cow, as big as the
recall
cow was, I called animal control that morning from the school bus, and then got done with the bus, got my own truck and went back, we couldn't find the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now we're getting.
yeah.
And then,
Joseph, M18.
oh
It,
my,
it has improved in my neighborhood though, but I'm still afraid to let my little dog accompany me, you know.
My two little dogs, I'm real careful before I walk out, I make sure it's all clear, for they come
Yeah.
out, they love to go with me everywhere, and they don't leave the yard either.
Yeah,
But they just go straight to the truck and jump in, that's.
yeah, yeah.
Are we getting close?
Go outside for a minute.
Halfway.
They escaped.
Oh, I'm about to go do it.
Well, while you're there, mention to Roger that.
I think I'm gonna
there's
have
still
to
a
go.
bond at North Fourth, and
My body
Watch the rest of it
Oh, yeah.
on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Watch the rest of it on
And
YouTube.
all
I
they
will.
would take to
I've
fix
only got
that
3
is for
things
somebody to
tomorrow,
take the
so
road grader
I have time tomorrow to
and
watch.
put the blade down and clean that ditch, and, the ditch is
It's-
like that, and if it's like that, the water will still go
Some
down.
popcorn, we're so exciting, so.
Yeah, I know.
Get you some caffeine.
South
Yeah, they got
Fourth,
about
I
it,
haven't
some
eaten
Gary
since
would know.
South
breakfast,
Fourth and Kennedy
I
too.
mean,
so
Same way.
I should go.
Same way, and so when it
Sounds like a
rains,
plan.
mosquitoes, I just know
Since I'm
a few days later,
diabetic
we're
and-
getting mosquitoes.
I
can feel my blood sugar.
$30 maybe after.
I've got one.
Okay.
Plug it in the wall in my barn, and I haven't had mosquitoes all year. I hear other.
What was Doug's last name?
Yeah.
Doug?
I have one at my back door.
Started with an
I'm gonna get
M.
another one.
Doug the CFO, I don't know.
It started with an M, that's all I remember. I didn't catch the last name.
I'll ask Connie.
Okay.
Yeah, Connie's got it.
just laid down the street with my chickens, so they take care of my mosquitoes.
Who's in our audience?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm coming back.
Is Nancy gonna be
No
okay?
doubt.
Yeah, I just need a new knee. And after I sit for too long, it doesn't,
I'm sure that
Forgets how to work.
it forgets how to work. Yeah, it's real fun to stand up and think, is it gonna hold? How are you, David? I'm good. What you know?
Long time no see. Oh,
I
Bob.
know. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, long time no see.
Turned every thermostat in here down. It starts down, jeez.
It's sleepy when you get hot, you know.
Yeah.
Your brain wants to go to
I was in a meeting today and the dang lady was playing like elevator music while we were supposed to be in discussion. I was like, dang, what are you trying to do for us to sleep?
Jeez.
North Fourth and Oak Street. It's still there, I just wanted to remind you. If you're going up Oak Street when you come to North Fourth.
Just right up here, just the next intersection right up there.
One intersection up. And if somebody take a road grader and make that, rather than make that ditch go like this, goes like this. Now, if they made it go like that, the water'd still go.
One of the things Jerry and I've looked at is, and it won't be right now, we got so much other thing. And we've talked about in the past, it had been talked about, probably all the way back then, doing a comprehensive flood zone study for the city, for Clyde, to actually find out, because, you know, there's that spot, there's ash over here.
Well, you can work on that one next. You know?
There's a bunch of them, but right now what we need to do is, because we have, and I had this conversation yesterday with the gentleman that didn't agree, because we are enforcing that citizens have to take care of their own ditches and stuff, versus if there's an area, say like that the city needs to excavate out or grade, we need to do that so that the citizen can then be held responsible for mowing it and maintaining it and stuff. So with that in mind, with the changes that we've made there, it's one of the things that Jerry Perkins and I, you know, I've explained to him that when we get this point, we're gonna go all over town, designate which ones of these places have to be
If you'd
where they get
If
started.
you fix the one because somebody requested it, other people get the same
Oh, no.
idea, and they'll tell you where it is, you don't need.
You
a
are assuming you're the
comprehensive
only one making requests. I get a lot of requests, and you're actually being very nice considered some of the requests I get, so. I had to go to a lady's house yesterday a couple of times.
Yeah.
She's probably watching, so.
Probably.
You're right though, David, there's a lot of places in town, and it's crazy. I mean, of course, I use this intersection up here to wash my truck when it rains.
Yeah,
Not really, I'm joking, I'm
he
joking.
does. Take the mud off the tires when you.
The,
See, when I have a infrastructure problem, I just fix it and go on, you know? I have, a 3/4 mile long cement and asbestos 3-inch water line. An oak tree grew on top of it and put down the roots and moved the pipe.
yeah,
So the same problem you had.
uh-huh.
And, I convinced the Taylor Electric tree trimmers to help
We lose some of it?
trim the tree out yesterday afternoon.
She got
and
home.
chipped it up, salted
She's
up
wanting
the
to know
firewood,
Doug's last
and,
name. She'll probably call you.
then I got it on the back.
Couldn't remember, it starts with an M, right?
Dug up that
Martell.
pipeline, and this morning
Couldn't
I
remember.
put a piece of, couple clamps and a piece of PVC in there.
Alrighty.
Good.
Okay, let's get back going so we can, get done here. So, we left off, we finished the general fund and we are gonna start into the enterprise fund.
This is where we hope to find some money.
Okay?
Alright, so, enterprise fund revenue, you see that you see $1,706,353, in 2025. Again, this is where we look at going up, as we get to it, you'll see there where we look at going up a little bit on water, and it is, and, you know, water sales will generate that revenue. It's a utility that we all need, we all have to have, and it's expensive to produce. So we have to be able to provide that. So you see that we're hoping our water sales will generate a little more revenue this year by about, what?
About 50,000.
Oh, yeah, no, I thought you said something, sorry. So, so that's where you'll see that, and again, we'll get to the raise, the increases there. Callahan County water sales, that's just right where we're at right now with year to date. That's just gonna be, that's probably where we'll stay. Eula Supply, the numbers are the same, but you know, we were off last year. We didn't get back on water in time like we should have, for whatever the reason is, we should have been back on water. Conversation was had in December about it. Conversation was had then a little bit later about it. The problem is there's no way to prove that. I mean, telephone conversation, there's no way to prove. Everything's got it, you know, from now on. And when I started with them, everything's done electronically, so we have a record of everything we're doing. It wasn't done that way earlier on, so, you know, so we lost some revenue quite a bit, you know.
So, I mean, are we getting back on track? They're gonna
We
purchase
are
water from us?
working on that, because no, we don't believe that we actually are there. That's another no, go ahead, David.
Well, so Eula only has to buy from us when we're on our water, correct?
No, they have to buy from us for their first 50 million gallons, period.
Whether we're on Abilene water or Clyde water.
Doesn't make any difference.
But
The
they-
contract says the first 50 million they take is supposed to be from us.
But they can draw, they have the option to draw off of Abilene directly.
They do. They have their own
And that's
pipeline.
what they've been,
That's what they've been doing, yes.
utilizing, and it's, you know, I don't know what I don't know what the contract says, but that's,
Contract says the first 50 million gallons have to be purchased from the city of Clyde.
First 50.
Yeah.
well, they obviously haven't been doing that.
You're right. Somebody gave them permission last year to, and again, and being good neighbors, they offered to do that.
Right,
Doesn't, you know,
Right.
it helped, and that's why the individual allowed it to go on, is that it helped us because we haven't been turning over the cost. When we go on to Abilene Water, it costs us more,
Well,
and we don't turn that over to the citizens, so we eat that cost. Well, the more we sell, and we sell that to Eula too, then that's more we're having to buy from Abilene. Go ahead, Paul.
But
See, you got a question.
at the same token, they can buy it from us cheaper than they can buy it from Abilene.
Yeah, so you
So
would think
it-
they would have wanted to go back
It doesn't make
to
any
us.
financial sense to them to not buy it at a cheaper rate,
I agree.
you know, so I,
What they said was they were having water issues with their
Quality issues.
trimethylines or something.
Yeah, the same one we had.
And they didn't want to switch over to us and commingle the water.
Problem is, we failed the same test, and it was all while we were all on Abilene
Abilene
Water.
Yeah.
true.
So, again, it's
Hindsight being 2020.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I mean,
just,
I would assume they have to answer to their customers as well, why, or something that they're buying water from at more expensive than the option they could buy it from us. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know why they would do that. Okay.
It's something that we've addressed to fix the situation, and we've gone about it in a way now that we can track that we're doing it, so. Extra water sales, that is just like the church that was building out here, on South Clack, we let them
Construction
come down
type,
here,
taking
yeah,
it out of the-
construction type stuff.
hydrant.
We meter it down there at the yard, and they can purchase, raw water there like that, so.
Okay.
Water taps, water taps, same, hadn't changed. Obviously we think that we're going to be growing and expanding, but we can't budget on just what,
We're being conservative on that.
What do we get per?
$550 per tap, water and sewer.
Yeah, so, a piece, so
piece.
it's 1,100
Yeah.
for water and a sewer tap, so
If someone
it's
comes in and is
550 a
building a
piece.
house and they need a water and sewer tap, they cut us $1,100 and we go out and tap the line for them, wherever they
Commercial
need it.
too? Commercial's higher?
No, commercial's higher, it depends on,
They're on that Veritas program, right?
no, it's, commercials are mainly based on the size of the,
Line, the meter.
yes, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, that type of deal.
Is the north,
The bigger it gets, the more it costs for us to do it.
the consumer, the residential is like, what, 5/8? Is that right?
Yeah,
So here's the other question, is the 550 per tap, does that cover our costs?
Meter and
Labor?
We haven't gone up in a while, so,
We might need to look at that.
Yeah.
Make sure we're at least covering our costs with that, and if we're going in the hole with that, that's,
Yeah.
just
It's-
more of a deficit we're
yeah,
getting.
it's been $550 for a few years now.
yeah, it really has. And
Yeah.
knowing everything else has gone up,
Gone up.
that's a good point, we need to look at that.
'Cause I know, I would
What about
imagine
meters
even our
cost?
meter costs have to be
Well,
more.
our salaries
nowadays.
have gone up.
Yeah.
Our employee costs have
Fuel
gone up.
cost.
Maintenance on our machines have gone up, because we have to dig that up and, yeah, I mean, everything's gone up.
And I'd be curious to know how much that meter cost, I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
I'm sure it's gone up over the time.
because obviously it's not the dumb meter like it used to be,
Oh,
the
no,
smart
no,
meter.
this is just to tap the line. We have a meter
Right.
drop fee also, that's included in our, where did we include that in here?
I'll find out.
I mean, I would,
Yeah.
I would think,
And
the
get-
I would
get you
think
an
the tap
answer on that.
deal would include the tapping the line, putting a meter on it, for them to be able to
No,
attach to
the
it.
tap fee includes $550 for the tap. We charge a $100 drop fee for the meter, to drop the meter in.
So,
And then they have to come in and set up account, which is a $150 deposit.
right, okay.
Something to look at though.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of meter drops.
I mean, with new construction, I think you would, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, you're probably talking about, I mean, if the taps are $4,500 a year and we're charging $550 for those, and a meter drop fee's $100,
Right.
you're probably looking at, if you do 10 a year, 10 new houses a year, that's $1,000.
Right. But somewhere that should fall on underneath this.
Yeah, I don't know where they've coded that. We need to, I don't know where that is done.
We can find that out.
$20 you get pieces of water.
It's better to be higher pH than low pH, unless you're, growing plants.
I know it's not a big number, but
No, but it's
every little
still,
bit.
yeah.
Right.
All right, Textile Roadside Park Water Sales, that's the road, that's the rest stop up on I-20. That's what they,
Oh, okay.
we sell their water there, so that's what that 19 is. A water penalty, this is people who, if we could collect what's owed, it'd be a pretty good,
No, this is late fees.
Late
yeah,
fees,
that's what I mean.
right.
If we collect what's owed,
And
as
that's
long as they pay them, and we don't have to cut them off or anything.
disconnect,
10%.
disconnect fee, and then also any late penalty, and then a reconnect fee, I guess, or,
We don't charge a reconnect fee if we don't have to do it after hours.
okay.
If we do it during the day while we're open, we hit them $27.50 when we disconnect it.
Right,
But to reconnect it, as long as they do it within business hours, 8 to 5, when our guys are working,
right.
then we don't charge them an additional to come back out and turn it on. Now, if they call us at 8 o'clock at night and they want us to come out and turn their water back on and pay us, online or whatever, then we do charge an additional $24 if it's an after-hours fee.
Okay.
Baird reimbursement, that stayed the same.
Takes them 10 minutes.
What's that for?
Leave the house, drive there, do it, drive back home. They're on our clock the whole time.
Yeah, the disconnect fee and the reconnect fee are $51.50 together if the reconnect's done after hours.
So, what's the Baird reimbursement for?
That's that 1607 that they pay us every year for their part of that water line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just a set amount. It's been there for 20 years that I know of.
The tank at the end off
That's
is
their-
collapsing. You know that?
The what? Yeah, yeah.
That's collapsing.
That also, I will say that if we have repairs on that line,
They pay part
they
of it.
pay 25% of the repairs on that line.
And that's all the way from anywhere from Elmdale to the standpipe?
Hayes Road. It breaks off at Hayes Road.
Oh, okay. So if there's anything from Hayes Road to standpipe, how does that?
I don't know, I'd have to ask Glenn, but I think that's us. That's not the Abilene water line.
Okay, so Baird has a line from Hayes Road straight
Baird-
to them?
Baird has a line from there, well, Baird has a line from there to the standpipe.
That's why I'm asking that length.
I don't know, I'd have to ask Glenn, I don't know how that works. That is such a Jacob and Martin, that formula, and that is so complicated.
Yeah.
But if we have any repairs on that line, I know no, because Callahan County fixes it.
Let's say you have Baird that uses that line,
Yep.
uses that line.
Yep.
Past Hayes, well, we got a few of those customers on 120 that get water off that line.
Just a handful, but yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, water penalties are the late fees that people pay. Reimbursement. Sewer, I think we went up, what, about 40-something thousand on it?
Sewer.
Yep, yep.
Carries
46,000.
Yeah.
That's just based off of our base.
That's that. The $15 to the commercial. And the Shady Oaks, it was at 1,000, but we bumped it to 2,000, because when I pulled it up and looked at it this year, they're gonna pay us $2,000 this year. They actually already have. So that's why we did a little bit of an increase on it, because we're already there this year on what they've taken from us.
And is that metered
But
or?
how many millions of gallons do they use?
Well, they draw from that non-potable water out there at the sewer plant that they put in. They put those ponds in. So I don't know, Glenn meters it somehow.
That's what
It's a reading that they give us every month.
So they pay for what they use.
Yes, but
It's a nominal fee.
it's a
because-
very small fee because it's non-potable water, it's not treated water.
Yeah.
And they put those retention ponds in, we didn't.
So,
I'll just say this, they have a 3-page waiting list for memberships.
Yeah,
600.
so,
Throwing it out there.
so it's not, I know it's not potable water, but is it's gotta be some kind of treated
It's
water to
treated.
put back in that pond.
well, it goes through the sewer plant and then it goes straight into there. It does not go to our water plant and go through the chemical
Right,
process.
so it's treated water, not treated water, but it's treated at the
Sewer plants.
sewer plant.
Right.
So that's good water.
I don't
Okay.
plan on drinking it.
It's definitely water.
Yes, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, but it's not treated water.
So, I mean, that's got a big value to it.
That's up to y'all. I mean, I don't know.
We need to figure out, I guess, how we're metering it and what we're charging per use.
I know they read a meter on it because they give us numbers and we send them a bill for it.
Yeah, because I mean,
I know they use a lot of water out there.
Let me find out.
What's the question on that? Ask,
We're asking how we determine what Shady Oaks is
Yeah,
paying.
they got some water wells out there too, yeah.
For the affluent water, we provide them.
Oh, God, I had that contract. prices go
So-
right now. It's not very much.
It's not
No,
very
it's,
much at all.
it's cheap.
Very minimal.
And they pay the electricity to get pump it and everything like that?
I'm sure,
it's all
I'm
done
sure
out here.
I'm sure with them digging the ponds, we, at some point, the city
We pay-
leaders made a heck of a deal with them.
I'm sure, yeah.
Get the ponds dug and
That's a,
everything.
that's a 5 mile line.
5 mile line, but how long have those
I'm
ponds been
sorry, I
out
can't
there?
hear you.
Getting water from
Time.
a silo. It
So
was full of
whatever
water.
Oh,
agreement
yeah.
we made should have been
Dig
satisfied.
it, was pumping it out of the river.
Yeah.
But then they pumped it over. Thank you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and I'll get with Glenn and see how we do that and all that, but
Oh, I'm
it's,
sure they
it's
pay
been
for all of it.
Yeah, that's
Gosh.
fine.
We haven't adjusted.
20-plus years.
Yeah.
It was before I came to work
Yeah.
here, and I'm pushing 20 years, so,
There's never been an adjustment.
not that I'm aware of, no.
It's time to look at that.
Yeah, oh,
I
absolutely.
know it's been going for 25 years,
Really? Wow, yeah, it's time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
or somewhere.
Well, I
around.
guarantee you the money that they spent putting those retention ponds in has well since paid for itself.
Absolutely. Some green grass.
So I have a question on here to get with Shady Oaks, or get with Glenn and see how all that works. And then I'm gonna find out about the drop-off, the
So-
drop fees.
I mean, if we don't put water in that pond, we just send it on down the line, right?
Why would we not put water in that pond?
The
I'm
ponds
saying-
probably filled up this year. What did we do with it when the ponds were full?
Oh, it'll go into Kaiser Creek, I'm sure.
That's what I'm saying, if we
Yeah.
don't put it
Yeah.
in that deal, it's,
Yeah.
It just goes down
Yeah.
it's
Kaiser.
going
Why
Brownwood.
Yeah.
couldn't we tie it back into our treated, or put it back in the line coming from the lake, put it back in our line to go to our treatment plant?
Putting the 2 in H2O.
Just saying.
Don't know that our plant's geared for that, is it?
It's not right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be
Not.
I would think that would be a major.
I mean, it would be the same thing as what we were doing, what we were thinking about doing with water wells.
Or another retention pond out there as well.
I mean, same difference.
Something worth looking into.
Yeah.
Your best bet on that is Glenn.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Okay.
Irrigation farm, what in the world is that?
So we got the same dollar amount on sewer taps?
The irrigation farm is that land that we own that Shane Lee does. Uses water out there, and, you know, it's just, it's minimal too.
By the,
So,
that lease land out by the.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
so that's what he's paying to lease that land, basically? Okay.
Is he not off there yet?
No,
Huh?
No.
He's not off there yet?
no.
No,
We didn't run him off because we were waiting to see what that other
Yeah.
deal was gonna work. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
All right, so sanitation revenue, you see that we've gone up on it. Again, that's where we're looking at raising the rates, so that's why that's up.
Are we-
Interest income, this is our interest-bearing checking account on that. That's
Rod.
what? Sorry? I'm
David,
sorry.
David
Just
had a
going back to the trash service, are we still, providing that information to those private companies?
And we got a letter today from Republic. Joe Spano reached out to us today. I'll send him the exact same thing that we're sending to CWS. They'll both happen, so we made contact with both of them.
Kinda interesting, I think.
And again, we're going ahead and looking at budgeting this in it for what we have right this second, where we're at right now. If we can do something with that, that's certainly the option. The sanitation miscellaneous revenue, what do we go over on that?
that's like if someone tears down a house and wants us to
Yeah.
bring a roll-off and use it, we charge them for the vehicle, the gas, and whatever tonnage it is to take it to the landfill. We had an individual, Mr. Campbell, that used us, a couple years ago, he did like 2 or 3 houses or whatever, and so it's a hit or miss if you use it or not, but it's there for if people need us to dispose of something that's above and beyond their
So,
practice.
let me ask you this, back in the Republic days, if you did a roll-off in Clyde, you were supposed to use them.
That's right, that's what our contract dictated.
Right.
At that time,
'Cause
but
we
if
had
if we
them.
go back to it, it's up to us to
But
negotiate that
what I'm
contract.
saying is there, do we have anything to mandate that they come to us for that?
No, they can pick whoever they want to do a roll-off. They can call CWS in.
Yeah,
They are not required to use us for that service.
yeah.
Now, I guess you could somehow put that in there,
I don't know how
but,
you enforce it, but I know, I see houses being built that don't have our
right,
bins out
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
But, you know, same thing, if we go back, say we go back with Republic, say we go, you know, if that was in our contract before, you know, I mean,
One
I
of the
think-
problems we might have on that though, and requiring them to use just us, is the necessity of us purchasing more.
Right.
To actually have them
Trucks,
on,
more-
yeah,
more
on
roll-offs.
hand.
We got like,
I think that's a standard clause in any big company's contract with the city, that you have to use their service.
They like to treat it as a territory.
right.
So what
So,
we might do, say we move into, as we move into these other two, maybe a negotiation with them that it doesn't become exclusive to them. Like, we want to retain the ability that if a customer wants to use our roll-off service, that we allow that, you know, but again, that's contract negotiation and that's months down the
well,
line.
what I'm saying is, if,
They buy our,
Yeah, that's what I'm
they buy our
saying.
equipment.
yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I was saying, if we
Right.
continue to what we have, how can they get away with it, and
Right.
we can't, you know,
Right,
and why,
right.
or why can't we do
I
it?
guess we could, but
Yeah,
I don't think he could ever enforce it.
right. Okay.
All right, sanitation, we've got Chris Lee and Michael Smalls,
And
Sewer and water tower.
and Ann, she falls under that.
So this flips over to expenses, cause that was the revenue
revenue,
page.
yeah.
Okay,
We have three.
and this is three FTEs?
Yes.
That,
So where does the overtime come on that?
It's usually on our Monday routes and things like that. Jerry has been real good about trying to get the guys, like on their days that they're not delivering, to go home early and not, ride that 8 hours every day. If you're an hour and a half over on your Monday route, leave an hour and a half early, but we still have some of it. It's minimal though.
Yeah,
$3,000 a year is pretty cheap for overtime.
longevity incentive pays the same, supplements the same, payroll taxes the same, employer paid insurance, you see we went down on it a little bit. Retirement's the same, employee training, we went down quite a bit on that, again, doesn't seem to be what, training to do that, so. Material and supplies, we went up just a little bit. Again, there is a lot more that does get done over there as far as their part of that. We're talking supplies, hoses, if they break something that's small or minor. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Computer expense, we took to zero. Postage, same. Maintenance agreement contracts is again in code, that's where we're at in there. And we went down on that.
Because that's what they showed that they used this year.
Yeah. Legal and audit, again, we went down on that based on, there's not that necessity for that there. Vehicle expense, we did go up on it, and again, we're back to that same thing. Trucks are gonna be expensive, so. Fuel, we went up a little bit on. Uniform expenses, the same. Landfill fees. Now, this is something that we were quite surprised about and very happy about when we got on this page.
right.
The next page is gonna take it all away from us. But this page, we looked at, and so you see we were budgeted $445,000 for landfill fees. And when we looked at where we were at, we weren't even half. We weren't even close to that. So we were like, oh boy, here's this $250,000 right here. We're good. This is great. We got real excited till we got to the next page. Real quick on that, you see the tire disposal fee we took down to 0 because we worked with the COG this year and they gave us that truck. That's something we're gonna look at each year. So, filling that truck up with tires. So that's why I was able to get rid of that.
Oh, about that Shady Oaks, do you wanna know what that is?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's 5.5 cents per 1,000 gallons, or $17.60 per acre foot.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good.
Pretty good rate.
And this is from 2008.
That's probably expired, the contract's ran its course there.
As far, it doesn't say anything about that. I don't have the contract itself, just some notes from it.
Well, and this is also probably like
It's in
what
the
David
old
said.
ordinances.
Like
I'm sorry.
David said. Yeah, that this was probably one of those deals where you do this and you get it for this and
Sweetheart deal.
we're just good with it. So, we found a couple of things now we're dealing with. Oh, yeah, well, that's not written down anywhere, so we don't necessarily have to abide by that now, so. Thank you, Bo, for finding that.
It's not anything big, but every little bit.
You're exactly right. Water department, labor salaries, overtime salaries, we did go up on that again, our water department. You see, you saw what we did this year and hopefully we're, exactly. Supplemental payroll taxes, employer paid insurance we went down on.
Back to the labor, is
Go ahead.
that four people out there?
It's three licensed water operators. We pay for licenses too and stuff.
But not in the labor and salaries, is what I'm,
So that's 3 employees.
Got 3
that are
FTEs.
licensed, yeah.
Yeah.
that's, nobody else is underneath there. Okay.
Okay, insurance, retirement, employee training. Again, that goes back to them having their licenses and we making sure that they're certified in what they have to be. Materials and supplies, the same. Postage went up, and again, this has to do with postage, but also, this year with all the with all the
TECQ.
yeah, TCEQ, all the stuff that we did, so you're gonna see this one in the next department, that was an increase because of that, and the possibility that until we get it all fixed, it may keep going like that. Engineering consultant expense, that's Jacobs and Martin, and you see that it's quite a bit higher. That is the fact that we were 900,000 over the years since 2013, and as good as they've been with us, and they're great partners and everything like that, but all the way back to the original pipeline deal, they've been floating that, and it came due, and they work great with us. We met with them. They're good partners. So, but it's got to be paid. So, that's where that payment comes in.
Okay. And then like 14 a month or something like that?
14,000, yeah.
The maintenance agreement contract, you see we went down on that. Dues and subscription, again, now you're still back in there to Encode, Microsoft, the programs, the
Ordinance, that's not-
y'all good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't wanna keep going. I don't wanna miss anything if y'all need anything. Postage, is that where we're at? 45 to 6, a little bit up on that. Oh no, we already been there, sorry. Legal audit. We actually, again, all the stuff that we had this year, all the TCEQ, all the stuff that, and the things that we've reached out to our lawyers to find out how do we handle this, their lawyers, everything that we've dealt with this, the water breaks we had this year caused us a lot of issues, so.
What was 156 last year that we don't have to have
That
this year?
is that's that CP 411
The storage agreement?
that we used to have to pay $12,000 a year before we did a contract with them about the water storage and all that. But from years ago, we always paid them $12,000 on that CP 411. The CP 411 has gone away when we gave that water, that industrial water to them, a couple years ago when we redid that. But he never took it out of the budget.
We still got that 36,000 or
It's
something.
in
Now,
here.
that
It's
shows
in here.
back up, that the water storage agreement that we have now is still in there, but
Yeah.
that CP 411 is what went away.
Right.
Super 411, and that's the amendment for TCEQ.
Roger,
And I'm sorry.
there is on the back of your neck, there's a little bump on your spine. Rub that and it'll help. I'm sorry.
You mean rub it for me?
Yeah.
But that, now, the original the storage contract that replaces that, has there been an amendment to that since it was written about 2001 or 2021, excuse me?
Couple years
Yeah, we
ago.
did one a couple years ago
Yeah.
with the city of Abilene.
Okay.
When they gave us their ETJ,
Oh, for the.
yes, we did a contract with them on that industrial water and the ETJ situation, so that CP 411 just went away.
Okay, so you don't have to pay the
12,000.
Right.
But he never took it out of the budget, but we don't pay that anymore.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Really good, yeah.
Oh, now we need to rid of that 36.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so,
Okay, so that was,
Computer
Legal and audit,
expense.
that was 156 there, so we're into legal and all that, computer expense. Left the same. Utilities, well, that's out at the water plant. And we went up a little bit on it. Again, utilities gone up, so we didn't go up that much on it. Didn't go where the encode and all that, because that was in the maintenance and all that, so it didn't go in there. Here's where that lake storage is. Paul, is that Abilene water purchases.
so
That includes the lake storage and what we are
Hopeful.
hoping we won't be on Abilene water, but we're budgeting some for
30,000.
Abilene water.
Yeah.
With the full lake though, shouldn't we have about 2.5 years?
Yes.
hell, if we.
Not counting
If we have a-
breakage,
the water
downtime, or
plant,
anything like that.
Something like that, we have to temporarily switch over.
So there could be a situation come up that we may have to go on there for a little bit. And although, and we've got calls in with PSI and all that stuff, but our problem that we're having with our water plant out there, when that does finally come online and stuff, there'll be some time down while we swap over. So we'll see how long that takes and stuff, but we're working on that with the big guys on that. Telephone,
Yeah.
same thing on it. You see it's where we code our Windstream bill in there on that.
Here's your lake pumps,
what?
Paul.
Huh?
Okay.
That intake that you were talking about and stuff.
Yeah.
We called Jerry and he said, we're good. We don't need anything on the lake pumps next year. So,
Anything out of the ordinary, they're not expecting any big,
Right.
problems, of course, it's hard to tell, so. Our water plant, why did we go up 100,000, what was our deal on that?
well, the sand and the stuff, the filters, and we know we're gonna have some expenses with that when we come online and all that, so,
That's what the membrane system.
yeah.
When are we projected to come online?
So,
Projected being
yeah,
the key word.
so
Yeah.
reached out to, Triune, reached out to, Jenna, who was Performance Services, who helped us get all that started a couple of years ago. I haven't heard back from her yet on that. Right now, we're expecting we're not gonna get it done the next 12 months. They're saying they will get it done. Jerry, I talked to yesterday about it, and they're getting closer, and they say they're getting closer, and Jerry thinks they're doing better, but I still don't trust them. So that's why we've reached out and said, hey, you know, this was supposed to have been done 18 months ago. We were supposed to be online 18 months ago. Why is this the case? So now PSI's got involved in it, so we'll see how far it goes. I'll let you guys know as soon as they send me an email.
He wants to pay them, but then they lose the dang job.
Yeah. And that's that money we have in that escrow account that
Oh, yeah.
probably not enough, you know, they're gonna, you know, 'cause we had the two setbacks with the winds come through and tore the doors off of it.
Building up a little bit.
Let's see, who did I speak to? What's the name of the company? They called me because they haven't been paid by Triune. So they were asking me what we were doing about them. How's that working with us? I said, well, we're having problems too. So, and he was saying that they haven't called him back. And then he was saying that in all his time, he hadn't had anybody ask him some of the engineering questions that these people were asking. He said, I have no faith in them. So I don't know. That's why that's why after that conversation, I reached out and try to get us straightened back out. So lake pumps, water plant, water lab, this is where we send our, when we gotta do that, we gotta send that off, so that gets done. Distribution, this is our chemicals, our everything that we use, putting that in, getting that taken care of out there, that's what our distribution falls under. That's why you have that there. Vehicle expense, we went up just a little bit on vehicle expense. We do have a truck that they move back and forth and come in back into town with. Fuel, so that has gone up just a little bit, 500. Uniform expense, again, just a little bit on that, so we keep them outfitted. Heavy equipment, we went from 1,000 to 10,000 on that. Now, that's part of what was Jerry Glenn. Now, I know we have the flanges coming in. I know the fixed asset, he wanted certain things. Let me look at something real quick here and make sure that wasn't on my other page.
Oh, you're
No,
looking at-
that is on the sewer. That's where we went up on that on the sewer.
In that 194 distribution, does that include any any of the repairs, if we have a water leak or anything like that? Does that include that, or is that
That goes up in 135, but,
line repair?
yeah, but we've blown that this year. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know,
No,
you know
you
what I'm
don't.
saying? It's hard to,
Well, we reached out to Atmos and working on with some help on that too, getting some reimbursement or some equipment, material, part of that. So anyway, our heavy equipment expense,
it's like our backhoes and stuff that we have to use to dig up lines and
Yeah.
we have to repair them and,
Yeah, there's no way $1,000 a year would take care
no,
of that.
no,
that's
it doesn't even
so
come
Connie said
close.
today, a bolt, nuts and bolts on them things.
Yeah.
Outrageous, so we went up on that to make sure we have that covered. Maintenance yard expense, again, this is all the stuff they have out there in the yard, their pipe racks, their racks, the stuff that they take care of, fixed building up there. LAS building out at the lake, now Jerry did tell us that they're gonna have to replace a couple of pumps out there on that one out there, so they are expecting, and they're figuring to be about $2,500 a piece on the pumps, so, we'd go up enough to cover those. Elevated storage tank expense, so, we took that down a little bit. We know that in a couple of years, well, probably about a year, that Elmdale storage tank is going to be something we gotta repair or replace. We're gonna have to do something about that. We have an inspection tomorrow. TCEQ will be out here tomorrow, so we'll know a little bit more if they tell us one way or the other. But having inspectors go out and look at this a couple of months ago, when it got pointed out that it's got a little dent, got caving, we know that within a couple of years, we're gonna have to do something there, so. Right now, this year, we don't believe so. We don't believe we have that maintenance on it.
What's that tank's purpose?
It holds water, I guess when we're on water coming in from Abilene, when we're on that part of it, that's one of our tanks that holds water there for us off that line. When we're on Abilene one, because there's no other reason for it when we're pumping from south into town, so. Is there a way to get out of it?
Right, I mean.
That's a good question.
Do you need the tank? I mean,
I think that's a great question.
I mean,
Yeah.
Do we need it?
you just bypass it, and I mean, now, is it there for pressure, is it there for, I don't know what else it would be there for, but, I mean,
That's a Jerry question, he
Yeah.
would know that.
I mean, shouldn't need to be lift, it's not gravity fed, it's pumped, so, I mean, you wouldn't need that. The only thing it could be really used for is some kind of pressure, unless, I mean, I don't know, does that thing stay full all the time?
Unless it's a volume thing,
Yeah,
Could be.
you know, in order to pump the water from the lake to there, and then you gotta fill
but
that
it's not
tank
coming
up.
from the lake, it's
Or
just
wherever
coming,
it's coming.
off their water line.
Yeah, their water source,
Their
but filling it
east
up,
side of their water line.
and then to get it here, they gotta pump it. You
Which
gotta
if
have
they
the
have an
volume.
issue getting us water, if we've
Gotta
got a
have the
full
volume to
tank,
pump it
it
here.
could give us some time.
Right.
They got 4 pumps in there, they got 4, I think it's 800, I think it's gallon per minute pumps in there. So they have a lot of pressure, and they got the 2 300 booster pumps over there in front of, Landmark. So it's probably just for that, because otherwise it would probably just create like a suction into Abilene's, system with that much power.
It's gotta be just for, storage.
We'll find out. It's a good,
And, does it have to be 200,000 gallons or however big that dang tank is, or can we do a smaller one?
Educated in that part.
That's all engineering
I agree.
Yeah.
Something to look at.
Bad debt, I think we were left off.
Bad debt expense, this goes back to, not getting paid. And how we go about
And
getting
it's
it.
it's also what we write off if someone has a water leak, that water leak forgiveness program that y'all passed. That's bad debt, or someone calls in and says, there's a leak, and we go out there and we determine our ring, which we had some of this when we installed those new meters.
Yeah.
That's our issue, you know what I'm saying? That's what this is for.
And fixed asset, again, this goes back to not just those pumps at the LAS building, but the parts and
Okay, so we have.
what we will need as that happens.
You're right, there went that found money.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, we were
Bye-bye.
so excited, man.
45 bucks per pump doesn't sound bad at all for the liquid ammonium sulfide plant out there, or the buildings.
I think a lot of it's that Jacob and Martin deal for sure.
It is.
'Cause it went from 9,500 to 180,000.
So we gotta pay our debt.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, sewer department, this is, Glenn and Scotty.
Two employees.
So, salary's the same, overtime, again, these guys out there, the only 2 of them out there, and when we have problems, that's a lot of overtime, but they're all we have out there.
Well, but that's if we have a sewer stop in the middle of the night and the guys from town have to go out. I charge that to what, if it's a sewer stop, it goes to sewer.
That's what you were telling us, Walter.
Yeah. Yeah.
The longevity, year and supplemental, payroll tax. Contract labor we took out,
16,000.
I don't even know what that was for.
another thing that, again, that we could not locate why that was in there in the first place. I don't know who we have out there as contract labor, so, we took that out. Employer paid insurance, again, one of those things, let me see over here, that was able to go down on. Retirement, same. Employee training, those guys, same thing, operator license, the license that they have, whatever we need to keep them trained and certified. Materials and supplies, we actually dropped it a little bit. Postage, we did go up, and again, that goes back to all the problems that we had. Glenn does a lot of our
Postings.
taking care of that TCEQ back and forth and everything. And we get a lot of that this last year, so, we're preparing.
Plus, they pay a portion every month when we mail out utility bills.
Yeah.
The utility bills between sanitation, water, and sewer.
Oh, the postage part of it.
Yeah.
So, back to that contract labor, I mean, do we, is that, if we ever have, you know, like black plumbing or anything like that come out and try to locate a stoppage, I mean, is that?
No, but if we did, we would charge that under maintenance and, other fees. It wouldn't go under contract.
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. Well, let's take that out, that's.
Supposed to, so, maintenance contracts stayed the same, dues and subscriptions, we dropped. We didn't see anything there that they had in that they needed. Legal, it goes back to the same thing with the sewer, with all the problems we had this year and the possibility next, legal. Computer expense, we dropped to 0, we don't see that they need anything out there computer-wise, any of that kind of stuff. Utilities, they stayed pretty much the same out there. That's where we're at on year-to-date, so we didn't feel the need to go up on that. Telephone goes back to Windstream, where we're paying that out of. They're part of that on the sewer department. Fuel, we went up 500. Vehicle maintenance stayed the same. Sewer plant operations, the same. Sewer lab, same. Our collect system, I asked Connie about that. That was on, I can't remember what I didn't write it down either. I should have wrote that down there.
That's any kind of chemicals that they have to have, or for the sewer plant, you know, stuff that they put in, and that's about where we are this year. It went down. I don't know why it went down, but it did.
Let me see what I have in there. Stop there. Lift stations, we asked, Glenn and Jerry didn't need anything on that right now. Doesn't look anything other than what may come up on, just their general fixing that, keeping that up and running, so we didn't have to go up on that. Uniform expense, we did go up on. Maintenance yard expense, we stayed, and then this other one is a little bit bigger, and that's the fixed asset, and that's because there is a couple of, it's not flanges, a couple of items that Glenn needs out there on that sewer arm, the thing that actually brushes all that goes around and everything. He's got a couple of things that have to be replaced on that this year, so he's repaired and repaired and repaired to, there's no longer any repairing, so he's done good, but it's gotta be fixed, so.
So, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Seems like on our monthly reports, there's sewer sludge or whatnot that we send to the landfill. I mean, I know it's kind of moving here to here, but I mean, would that be paid for by the sewer department instead of the sanitation department, or?
We roll all that into landfill
I mean,
fees.
I know you do,
I'm sorry?
I know that's what you're doing
Yeah.
now, I'm just trying to, I mean, it
I
really
don't-
reflects the.
Yeah, I don't know if it's separated out. I don't know.
It
I
is-
just know that
It
the
is on,
trash.
I mean, it is on that monthly report, we have so much tonnage for commercial and residential, and then there's, most months we don't have the sewer sludge, but some months we do.
Well, I think we have it every month. It just is not.
I mean, they just scoop it up, and when it gets enough to put in a roll-off
They pick it up and
to-
take it.
To take it to Abilene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a numbers game, really, as far as taking it from the sanitation department and putting it here, because it's part of the sewer operation.
Do you want us to do that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to ask. I'll find out. Let me find
If
out.
we're using we're disposing of it at landfill,
Yeah.
I
I mean, I would just say a landfill fee underneath sewer.
yeah, a line item for that.
Yeah, I mean, it helps you give a better picture of what the actual trash service is costing versus in taking that part out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my page one finally found.
It was very back, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's in a whole nother stack, actually.
Yeah, for the first go.
So, anybody have any more questions on that? Anything that you want to add or remove, or? I mean, I think we're pretty well removed what we can, but is there anything that additional that,
Yeah, I think we keep pushing a couple of departments to increase the revenue and do a better job of, on that end.
I mean, one thing that I've noted, and I don't know what the answer is, but I mean, we're not giving our employees any additional. And I don't know how we can, but I hate to, lose some too.
Well, I would too. I mean, I really would,
Yeah.
but
I mean, just my calculations, if we gave a 1% raise, it's 25,000, not including whatever additional payroll taxes and all that. I mean, we're sitting at
well,
21,000.
if you give a percent, you can give another percent for the taxes and
Yeah,
contributions.
so I mean, if you say you do 2%, that's 42,000.
Yeah, that's what I think that'd be the number you'd have to look
Right.
at if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And I'd say if we can find it
Yeah,
and cut it,
I mean, it's just,
then I'd be open to it, but I think we've gotta
I mean,
find the cut
you know,
somewhere.
I know I've been years that I didn't get a raise, and there's
Myself.
there's
No
year,
fun.
and it sucks. I mean, so luckily I guess I've stuck with it, but there's been times where you're down and out because they didn't give me jack squat. So I mean,
I've been there myself. I know, it's not an easy deal.
We talk about this is going up because everything's going up.
Cost
And
of living.
everything's going up for them too.
right.
So,
I mean,
so over the
I don't-
next week, let's dig in and see if we can find a little more.
No.
I think we can. I think it's out there. Cause I think it's a very valid point.
Yeah.
Paul. I mean,
I definitely want to take care of them.
our, our consumer goods go up an average of 2.3% this year.
Yeah.
April, it was 2.3, yeah.
Much. And it's actually higher than that, that's just.
Yeah, that's just the number they want you to see.
That's compared to that month for last year.
Right.
And when you consider the cost of training new employees,
Versus
Light
retention.
retaining.
right,
So,
Absolutely.
so anyways.
my
I
experience is
don't-
it's cheaper to keep them. Give them a little raise and keep them.
Yeah.
Well, and we
Because
didn't,
it costs a
give them one
lot
last
to
year.
train new employees.
So,
They did not get one last year
They
at all.
did not get one last year.
Those guys do a lot out there, huh?
yeah.
Oh, they do.
So,
They do.
I mean, if you take Doug's number of one cent gives you 19,000.
19,000.
I mean,
I've got a couple thoughts on that, but
yeah.
it's not gonna be popular,
No, it's not.
right? I
It's
mean,
not,
I don't know how we can come up with it, but I'd rather see if we can find it in here
Right.
first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But again, very valid point, and that's why we're here, trying to figure out what's best to move the city forward.
Well, I gotta throw this out there. It's required. We're sitting there talking, so we're looking at that number at 2.3, and that's just the number we'll use. So if we were looking at a raise, that's the number we ought to look at, because that's
Right.
what
No,
they're
I
telling
agree.
us that it costs to go up.
Right.
And I know this, you're talking about not being popular, I'm fixing to make that very clear. I know this is not a good topic. So with what Doug is looking at on that, that's a lot. That raises a lot. We can drop that back down to the numbers what we've worked at, the 12 cents going up, but one thing that council can look at is a small increase on the water. Now, we have looked at this, something we've been working on for a while. The increase of the 2.3, which it now cost us to actually make the water, to produce it, to do all that. Everywhere where it went up on everybody else for everything else, it went up on us too as the city. So how to do that, where do we do that? We look at every year, if future councils do not take into consideration how we got into the position we got into last year and the year before, by continuing to not go up along with the rate of inflation, you're going to hurt yourself. And eventually, you'll be back to where we were.
I mean, we were operating, enterprise at $600,000 in the red because we neglected to
Yeah.
go up. And,
Which
I mean,
is
it's
not
not popular,
sustainable.
but.
It's not popular, but if you don't at least try to keep up with that,
Right.
then you're back to when you go $12.50, $10, and you're $35. What we worked on, and again, it sucks, I hate it, it affects me, I gotta pay it too, is that if you go up to 2.3 on each one of those across that, you'd be looking at,
For residential.
yeah, now this, this is residential, commercial, this is a lot of aspects on this to get us to where we need to be, we wanna be, take care of our employees, get on top of where we need to be in the future and to start building that. You would look at basically $1.40 on residential water increase, $1.10 on residential sewer increase, and 62 cents on residential sanitation.
$3.12.
314.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be base, that would be your base increase, so your,
Those numbers are reflected in here.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't talk about how we
Right.
got to those numbers.
So-
And when we go back and we look at cutting these numbers, that's we have to know where we got that number. When you start getting ready to cut that number, how did you get that number? And that's where you do it. If you go down, say, $1 raise, or $1, I would actually suggest $2.50 across the board. And I'll tell you why, where that comes out to, just on the utility bill, if you went up $2.50 on all three accounts, all right? So if you went up $7.50 for the month on utility, and fully understanding that so many times we say water, and people
Yeah, it's
think
all
that's
three
it.
included,
But
right.
but this is utility. It breaks down to where for those three essential services that the city provides to a resident, averages out to about $48 a service. Now, yes, granted, water costs more, the sewer is more, but what we have as a base, what we have, if we went up $2.50 on each one of those, where you would come out to on base per citizen, per residential connection, would be $192.20. That's base. That gets you. That's if you use all 5,000 gallons that you get in that first base now, because we were looking at, we wouldn't look at raising the rates on the water on the first 5,000 gallons. We have looked at numbers on raising the rates after the 5,000, which I think we were looking at a quarter cent, 0.25.
It's $9.50 right now, right?
Yes.
But it comes down to where you would have,
So, I mean, and I still think, and I know it's a variable, but if we could leave the base alone, and that way the elderly that don't use a whole lot of water, they're not affected as much, and, raise that,
$1.10.
8.085 or whatever, raise it up a little bit and bump your tiers up and still bring in more money, but not jump the base
Well,
up.
in that vein of thought, and, you know, the $3 and
14, 12 cents,
whatever it is across the base, is already factored in here, right?
Yes.
Plus our anticipated additional usage tiered, our upper tier fees.
Right.
Those
Well,
are
if
not
you wanna-
in here.
If you wanted, what? Oh, the additional tier, cause it's a variable.
That's right.
I'm with you.
Okay, okay.
But if you wanted to take care of, do a 1% across the board for the employees, you'd be looking at adding 3 cents to your property tax. And that generates.
Right. So instead of being a flat dollar, you'd be $1.03.
Yep. And now, the reason I personally like going that route instead is, yes, the seniors are gonna see a slight increase in their utility bill because of $3 and whatever cents. However, most seniors at 65 have their property taxes locked.
For the school.
School only?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm
correct?
70.
I mean, that's why I'm
70-some.
looking, no, I'm.
School only.
Yeah, it's only 100% VA that it's gonna be also listed with it.
But,
Dad's, mom and dad's was locked, the property tax
yeah,
was
my
locked when
uncle's
he
is
turned.
locked.
My
He
parents
plays.
is locked.
I know that it was because,
It's the school tax that's locked.
no,
And
it
you
was,
get- And you get homestead exemption if it's your homestead.
Right.
well, it wasn't the school that I went down and paid $32,000 to. It was Gallahan County that I went and paid. It was property tax. It wasn't school tax.
Property tax.
Yeah.
That's an element of your property tax.
That's what we're talking about.
Is the school tax. The schools get a certain portion
Yeah.
of your property
They
tax.
get the majority, the biggest
A
portion.
large part.
41%
it's
of our
the-
taxes are
It's the
school
school
tax.
tax is the only thing.
Right.
The state, what other elements are there?
Well, like I say,
They can vary, the other elements can vary. That's what happened 2 years ago here, when the state decided we were gonna cut the school taxes, the school tax rate, and the state was gonna put additional funds to the schools. And, well, Callahan Appraisal District, they jacked my property tax by,
110%.
no, it's like more than 200%.
Well,
Mine was
they're
110.
increasing the value.
And they were trying to compensate for that.
That's it, it's a property tax.
Yeah, it's the property values that are being elevated.
Yeah.
However, if you look at the overall picture though, 3 cents per hundred,
Not too bad.
it's not too bad, and it's probably an easier pill to swallow for most people, not all.
Do you guys do any
Most.
kind of comprehensive analysis about what other municipalities of similar size do? What the tax rates are and things like that in other municipalities?
We
like
actually have on water
Potosi
and sewer and sanitation.
Well, I don't know.
No, I said we actually have on water, sewer, and sanitation.
Well, but how about,
But I haven't done it on,
How about
I haven't
tax
done it
rates?
on property tax.
how about tax rates?
We
Because,
can definitely look into it, so.
you know, strikes me that if you had an argument, I mean, I was looking to move out of Houston to a more calm environment, and we looked at Georgetown and Liberty Hill and all the places over on the lake, and their taxes are outrageous. I thought, you know, it's crazy. But they run a surplus, and it's good, you know.
Yep.
That's how you get a surplus, charging a lot more. And again, as unpopular as that is, I believe that's where we need to be, because we need to quit being
Behind the.
where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And that goes back to, I agree with what y'all say about taxing our little old people, but I'll say it like I sent that letter to you guys. If that becomes our only concern, that we try to take care of simply one element, what do you do with the rest of the element? There's more than just that one, and we have to look out for all of it. If we don't take care of how we are able to provide for the whole entire city, just because we're trying to protect one section, then eventually we go back to right where we are 2 years ago. And we hurt the elderly even worse, and we hurt everybody else on top of it. So why not hurt a little bit every year?
$3.14 plus the usage rates does.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, we're just trying to add everything out there we can so council can look at it. So.
You know, a little analysis of what the property rates are.
Oh, yeah, no, we can do that, just like we did with the water.
We may be way behind on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could be high. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to know.
It would.
And,
Yeah, that's easy.
I would think an additional 3 cents there would be just easier to swallow.
But now,
That's
you
just-
talking about the 3 cents on top of the
No,
12?
yeah, Yes, sir.
So you're
Okay.
talking about going to 15 cents
Okay,
instead
no,
of 12.
no, that's fine, that's fine, I just, and
In
that
my
comes,
mind, we'd already factored in.
yeah, exactly, there, and Doug told us the 124, and this is what we talked about.
Yeah,
So he
that's
told
your
us the
max rate.
124, we can always back off of that. So that's good, but at the 124, he figured was without us doing any increase on water, sewer, sanitation, any of it. So the 124 gets us out of all of that, but, I know, but here's the deal with that. So you got the 124 this year, but you're not gonna be able to do that next year. And again, if you don't go up that little bit each year that it cost us to provide the service, then you're gonna get behind the 8 ball to where all of a sudden you gotta go up a whole bunch to provide the service.
In all reality, the utility rates need to keep up with inflation.
They have to, absolutely have to.
Otherwise, you're gonna fall further and further behind.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna try to stay on, because there's a lot of things Doug did not bring up.
Well, I've been arguing this back and forth in my mind. You know, you brought up the elderly, okay? And I'm having,
You're not there
in
yet,
the
right?
social work field.
You're not there yet,
I
right?
am not.
Cities have ordinances to help the elderly have
But-
certain accounts.
Yes, okay, so I know that there are elderly in our community living on less than $1,000 a month. And I'm like, how do they do it? You know, and I've worked with them, you know, and yeah, I am elderly now. I hate to say that. I used to work with elderly, and now I are one. But I can pay my water bill, you know. But the difference is, if you've got a 25-year-old couple that's working for minimum wage, they can take a second job. But you got a 70-year-old that's stuck on an $800 a month income, they can't. They can't. And they're also more hesitant to ask for help.
Sure.
Because they are the ones that when they were 25 years old, working a minimum wage job, they went and got another job. And they don't know how to ask for help.
Now this, Lenny, you'll hate me for this. It's okay, you've hated me before, I
I
know.
have hated you before, but I love you too, okay?
I love you,
So-
I think.
I know you don't.
So here, and Connie hates this about me, but I have to play devil's advocate. from
I know,
time to
that's
time.
what I've been doing,
Yeah.
okay.
So, taking nothing away from the elderly person who lives on
Yeah.
this fixed income and can only do so much. But you say, okay, so you got a 20-year-old who, you know, can then go out and get another job. Let me ask you this, what about the 20-year-old, married, not married, 2, 3 kids?
Yeah.
Who can't afford to pay for childcare in order to go out and get that second job, who can't afford. What about the hardships that that person has that are different from, but are still a hardship that the elderly person has? So are we to say that one person's hardship is more important than the others?
I know, I've been arguing that too.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just have to throw that up there, I know it's
Well,
an
At the end of the
argumentative.
day, we have to have empathy for them all.
Yeah, absolutely,
Really do.
absolutely.
It's not an
We do.
easy position,
We do,
but us as leaders, city leaders, we still have to do what's required to keep the city functioning.
like like I've been saying, it takes a community to
It does.
take care of a community, and we've just gotta find a way to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
It comes down to the end of the day, it's every city of similar size that I look at is half of what, you know, the utility prices are.
Yeah, that's what I
And
hear.
1.7 million last year came out of enterprise fund into the general fund. And that's something that even Cameron Goalie saw, so, and put down, so it's, that's, I mean, you don't really have a choice, you gotta raise money somewhere.
That's the
It is
unfortunate.
really, that part gets to me every time.
Yeah.
I do think it would be easier to swallow on taxes.
I mean, it's a bitter pill either way you go,
It is.
but
And,
the
and
utilities do have to at least keep up with inflation, or we're just gonna fall behind until we dig out of this mess at least.
Well, I don't know, I don't live here and, you know, I don't know, but I hear from a lot of people, that the water rates went up a lot to pay for a pipeline to Fort Phantom. And that if that ain't gonna happen,
That is not true.
no, that's what I've heard.
That's what Facebook says, yes.
Back in 2013, we had an increase in our water rates, and it was to pay for the bonds
For the water
that we
rights.
purchased of the water rights.
Ah, okay. Still have those.
We still have the rights.
Yeah, we still have the water.
Never been funding for a pipeline, and there's no charge, there's no money for that, there's no charge for that, because it doesn't exist.
Well, I'll tell them that when I hear that.
That's a very big misconception, but that increase in 2013
Was for
was for the bonds that when we purchased the water. It was not for the pipeline.
Okay, so I am gonna close the budget workshop as we are finished discussing the proposed budget. And we are going to move to executive session, convening the closed meeting pursuant to the provisions of chapter 551 Government Code, Vernon's Texas Codes annotated in accordance with the authority contained in Government Code 551.074, personnel matters concerning hiring a consultant and discussing city administrator position.
Well, thank y'all for sticking through,
Yes.
sticking through all this.
Great that y'all came and showed up and had input. I love that.
1.7
Well,
million, it's just one of those
You
things
know,
where
we can't complain
that's the elephant
if,
in the room.
if we're not here.
It's a lot of work.